They've seen it. It's Mike Missanelli show. Oh boy, what a gut-wrenching loss last night for the Philadelphia Phillies, and nobody stayed up that late for it, right? You saw the highlights as Patrick Bailey hits a walk-off 3-run inside the park home run. I got questions about. Listen, if you mismanage your bullpen, something like that's going to happen. I believe the manager mismanaged his bullpen last night. But here's the first question I asked: that when you look at the play, and you've seen it now on replay a lot, where is your left fielder on that play? The ball. All right, the ball hits on the right side of center field. It hits that weird angled wall, and it scoots towards left field. What on earth was Max Kepler doing in left field? Standing there? Am I wrong? Marsh has to chase that thing down. It almost goes all the way to left field off of that wall, and Marsh is chasing it down. Your instincts as an outfielder, all right, the ball is hit to the right part of center field. Even if you're a left fielder, when the ball's hit, your natural movement is going towards the ball. You may stop, but your natural instinct, when the ball's hit to my left, I go to my left a little bit. Now, there's the wall out there that an outfielder should know about, and the ball caroms. What are you doing? Are you just standing, or are you chasing as well? He wasn't even in the frame of the replay. So I don't know. I don't want to blame this on Kepler. There's so many other things to blame this on last night. It's a fluke that they win the game. I mean, you could not have thrown the ball to that spot and have it happen like that and carry him all the way and get it inside the park. And he's not even that fast, Patrick Bailey, and he scores standing up. But a very strange situation. So let's break it down. Let's break down the bullpen, because you use Romano for 2 innings and he's probably not that type of guy. You know, he had retired the side in the 8th, and they have to send him back out for the 9th. So why did he have to go back out there? Well, it's because of the way the manager managed the bullpen last night. So let's just go over it quickly. All right, they've got Taijuan Walker on a 60-pitch limit. I don't know why, but they want to protect Taijuan Walker. So 63 pitches, he comes out after 4, did his job. He gave up 2 hits. and a run, 63 pitches. He uses Banks for an inning. He uses Lazar for an inning. Why on earth would you use Strom? Would you burn Strom in the 7th inning? If you don't have Kerkering, wouldn't you want Strom for a later part of the game? What is the point of using Strom there in the 7th inning? Now, explain this to me. Lee is the first hitter. He's a left-handed hitter. Okay, I got it. The next 2 hitters that are scheduled are going to be right-handed batters. So, pretty much he's going to pinch hit Flores in that situation. And then Bailey's up. I mean, am I missing something here, Ray? Ray Dunn is with me today. Did I miss something? Why would you have to use Strom in the 7th inning?
I've spent the better part of the last 45 minutes trying to work this out in my brain, and I really can't do anything for you in terms of working this out in my head on why in the world they would go Strom there. Again, there were 2 lefties coming up, but like you said, Flores is sitting there on the bench. You think they're going to pinch hit Smith because they're going to want to get a righty against the lefty, and the top of the order's coming up. You don't have Kerkering for the night. I don't understand how you go him in the 7th and leave yourself with an 8th inning option of Seth Johnson, Joe Ross, and Daniel Robert.
All right, so do we have the manager's explanation on this? He was asked about it. Let's hear what Rob Thompson had to say about this.
We got kind of caught back in a corner because we didn't have Kerkering. And so Strom pitched the 7th against all those lefties. And it was wanted to use Romano in the 9th just because of the intensity of the whole situation. And it was between Ross and Johnson and Robert for the 8th. And we liked Robert's slider on that group of hitters. And I think it was fine until the pitch clock violation. I think that may have sped him up a little bit. So once he got through his 3 hitters, I felt like it was time to get rid of that inning. And Romano came in and did a great job. 5 pitches, felt like he was strong, felt like he could probably finish it out.
With all those lefties? Well, like I don't understand. You listen. You can't afford to use Strom in the 7th inning. You got to trust whoever you have there to get through the 7th inning, and then you got to use Robert in the 8th. Okay, he got a single walk. Then he struck out Adames, and then he brings in Romano to get Chapman and Yastrzemski. So why didn't you like your slider against Chapman? Why didn't he like Robert's slider against Chapman there?
Well, I would think with a guy like Robert at that point, they're just trying to get him through the 3-batter minimum. I think they like his slider against the 3 batters he has to face. I can't imagine they want Robert working through a long inning. I don't even understand Robert going against the top of the lineup. To me, that's the thing. They say we like his slider against those 3 guys. I don't like Robert appearing in any sort of circumstance that looks like that against the top of the lineup when you have a lead.
But see, here's the thing. A manager has to know that Flores is going to pinch hit for Dominic Smith against Strom. Like, what are all those lefties? What are we talking about here?
Well, they're not going to pinch hit him if you use anyone else.
Okay, I get it, but I don't know. I think that he mismanaged that whole thing last night, and he had to bring Romano back for the 9th inning. I can only use Romano for 1 inning. I can't trust that part of it, can I? He got out of the 8th fine. Now you got to bring him back, and it's very unnatural.
Oh, and it was very clear as soon as he got out on the mound. I mean, that pitch that nearly came back and took his head off, where the line drive right back up the middle, he was leaving the ball right over the middle of the plate. He came back out there, and he gave you the exact case study of why they don't do that for relievers right now in baseball, because his stuff was not the same. The ball was just kind of hanging there over the middle of the plate. He didn't have the same bite on his stuff, and it ended up costing them. And once you burned Romano, I was sitting there thinking, who in the world is taking this 9th inning?
Well,
who in the world can you go to take this 9th inning?
There is nobody, so you can't use Romano in the 8th. That's what I'm saying. You almost have to trust Robert there for the 8th, the whole 8th.
I don't want to trust Robert at all in that case. I know, you don't like a lot of these guys. He just
struck out the last guy.
He did strike out the last guy, but Robert coming in the 8th was an oh no. To me, that's where I felt good. They got through 7. I was sitting there like they have a lead. They're through 7. Let's see if they can piecemeal the end of this. Then you realize that Kerkering's not going to pitch because Robert's out there, and you're like, okay, this just got a lot more interesting. And the fact that Robert allows 2 base runners, I was like, all right, well, I started in my head to cope with the fact that they weren't going to win that baseball game. Because they don't have the options out there in the bullpen. And again, that goes to a higher problem, but it starts with the mismanagement last night of the 7th, because the bottom of the lineup gets to face probably, on that night, your most reliable reliever, because you're without Kerkering.
All right. Now, can you do you have a theory on my first question? Where was Kepler on that play?
Yeah, I can't get too deep into the Kepler blame here, just because even if he is all the way out in center field, I don't think he's really stopping the outcome here. Like, he's coming all the way from left. By the time the ball actually rolled to him and the ball and him met,
Well, wait a minute.
I don't think he's changing the outcome.
Who gets to the ball quicker, the left fielder or Marsh, who now has to run from the crack of center field all the way to chase down that ball?
The ball ended up in center field.
But the ball was headed towards left.
It was headed towards left. I understand that. But by the time the ball got to center field and Kepler met the ball in center field coming from left field, I don't think you're changing a lot of the outcome of that.
How about if you just anticipate something and move towards where the ball is?
Well, there could have been anticipation of, hey, look at that giant wall. If it's going to hit off that wall, it's going to go right past me. Like the center fielder right there, as you're looking up at that wall, you're chasing straight towards it. So, okay, if it's going to hit that top wall, it's not going to bounce.
It all adds up to a
down.
loss for your fighting Phils. And it was not a real good loss. And they lose 2 straight now in San Francisco. We got a lot to talk about today, including the Eagles. We are 2 weeks away from training camp. We're going to get into that. We're also going to get into an all-quarter century team for both the Sixers and the Phillies, which should be fun. And also some Sixer talk, because the win total in Vegas was announced. And we'll talk about that as well. It is General Knowledge Wednesday, however. We got Jason Starr coming our way at 11:25 to talk more about that Phils game. He's always studying the weird and wacky. We'll see where that registers with Jason Starr. But today, General Knowledge Wednesday, Ray against the audience, and the prize is a pretty good one today. 4-pack of tickets to Adventure Aquarium. Take the kids to Adventure Aquarium, the Kaleidoscope Cove, all that stuff, Ray.
I've been there. I'm a fan.
We'll give you the topics after this, Ray. And one of them, I think, might be a category that involves the Bard. Uh-oh. Look out, Ray. The Bard. You know who the Bard is?
The who?
Huh?
The what?
William Shakespeare is the Bard.
Oh, nice.
Mike Missanelli Show, 610-632-0975. Back after this.
We want to
10:15, Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5, The Fanatic. Jason Stark joined us at 11:25, sent me like a schematic of the play, and he says it looked like Kepler was setting up to be a relay man in short left center field. Like, wait, that doesn't happen in Major League Baseball. The infielder is the relay man. Why would an outfielder cloud it up? What is that, Little League play?
Is he cutting the third on that one?
What is that about? Why would he be a relay man? An outfielder should get out of the damn way. You're not supposed to be a relay man.
Yeah, I guess, is he thinking that he's going to have to cut the third?
He's trying to have to cut the throw from Marsh against the wall and relay it in. There's an infielder that's out there for that relay cut off. It's a Major League arm. This is not like some candy arm. Kepler's not even in the frame in this replay. Listen, I don't want to blame Kepler. It's a fluke, right? Fluke win. But you got to, I don't know. When the ball is headed towards your area, you at least make a dash for it.
Yeah, again, I don't know how much he's saving you there, truthfully.
Well, here's what I know. It didn't work out the other way, did it?
No, it didn't work out the other way.
It didn't work out the other way.
I just think if we're going down the blame game here, I don't know if he cracks my top three.
Listen, I'm not going to. There's nobody to blame on that. If you want to blame somebody, it's the manager for mismanaging the pen a little bit.
Right.
That play, there's nothing to blame. I'm just curious to know why Kepler's not in the frame. That's all.
Our YouTube chat also got this, and I don't know if this is the exact number, but someone said it'd be a home run in 29 of 30 ballparks. I mean, where that ball's hit and where in that ballpark it is, it's like 400 something, where most ballparks right center is not that deep.
Yeah.
So they probably just lose that game a regular way instead of us talking about this the first time a catcher's had a walk-off inside the park home run since
listen,
1926.
I totally get it. I also get anticipation of an outfielder when the ball is in the air. That maybe you calculate in your head. Maybe that can hit that angled wall and come towards me. That's all I'm suggesting. Like, you got to be heady, even when heady is not called for.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I thought Marsh took too far of an inside. Like, the way that it's going to hit off that wall, I would have expected to be further along the wall. I understand in the moment, what is he thinking? You know, where's the mindset? But to me, I would have been further up on the warning track.
Let me tell you something. Flashy white belt wouldn't have made that mistake.
Oh, wow.
Flashy white belt wouldn't have made that.
Things are so dire that we got a Johan Rojas positive comment from Mike Miss.
Versace belt wouldn't have made that mistake.
Well, I mean, it is interesting. They have the lead. We talk about defensive replacements. Again, it doesn't do much for you last night. I don't think a defensive replacement would have won you that game.
No, you don't defensive replace Marsh. I mean, he's good enough defensive play. You don't have to worry about replacing him, right?
No, but when we talked, we went back a couple weeks talking about the fact that Rojas, that's right, because they had the right-handed lineup.
He started the game and had his usual over.
That's right. So never mind. In that case, we're still fine.
Let's go to the Phillies. We got some Phillies text here, so let's see what the people are saying about last night's game. If you stayed again, I'm guessing that 75% of the people that are listening right now did not see the game at the end.
I don't know about that, Mike. We got a lot of people that are tired and upset in the YouTube chat.
Oh, okay. All right.
We got some texters chiming in, though. This is why you don't send down Abel. Should have been Abel to Walker, Walker to Abel. That would have ate up 6 or 7 innings alone.
It's not a bad point. But Abel wouldn't have got through those first few innings the way he's pitching. Really? I mean, I don't understand. Like, we needed Abel last night. Please. It's going a little too far. What else you got?
We got Sean from Cinnamon. First, Mike, I agree. Where is Kepler? Only because he could have held him to a triple, but Thompson completely mismanaged that game. Granted, there isn't much, but he mismanaged what we did have.
Maybe he does hold him to a triple. Maybe if Kepler's chasing down that ball, Bailey doesn't score. And it's very possible. And the game's tied.
Again, I just think you're asking for too much, meeting from left field to center field.
What are you sticking up for Kepler all of a sudden? All of a sudden you're Mr. Kepler?
I'm not sticking up for Kepler. I'm just saying that in terms of what it changes, I understand you're annoyed with where he was on the field, and I don't understand why he was trying to cut it off in that point anyways. But to think that it changes something, he has to meet the ball from left field in dead center.
But you should be flowing that way anyway. When the ball's in the air, your first move should be flowing towards where the ball's hit.
Yeah, I don't know what Paco Figueroa's teach them in terms of outfield and what they're supposed to do in that situation. So I don't know whether he's in the right or the wrong with the way that they coach that up. I'm just saying that if
first of all, is he playing Bailey to be a pull hitter? Probably not, right? He's probably not playing Bailey way over towards the line.
Well, he's not playing him in like dead left or left center. Like he's playing him in
probably
left.
shaded to left center against Bailey.
You think?
Yes.
Probably just playing straight on left field.
He's probably shaded.
Even
for
if
a
he's
guy like
shaded,
Bailey.
he's getting the ball in center field.
I cannot believe this. What did Kepler? Did Kepler send you an autographed picture or something? Like what?
If he did, it would have been in the shredder back there. You know how I feel about the guy. It's not so much about that. It's about when we look at how we're assigning blame here today. I'm not going Kepler number one.
All right, what's the YouTube chat saying?
The YouTube chat was upset about, one, what you're talking about with Kepler, also with where Marsh was. And Dawood right here, ultimately our defense stinks, although you'd think we'd have a better idea of playing that type of hit right. Isn't a gap like that in another field. So he's thinking that we should have a better idea of how to play that. People are talking about how San Francisco is hell on earth for this Phillies team, 3-18 in San Francisco.
Guess what? That's a team they may play in the playoffs, so the games will be here.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of people would rather those games be here than Oracle Park. And a lot of bullpen blame.
Well,
no one
it's
wants
easy
to
to blame Romano. But he got out of the eighth, right? The fact that he had to sit on the dugout, come back out for the ninth, it probably is unnatural for a guy like that, and you should probably know that as a manager. That's why I can only pitch him one inning. But he got caught with his pants down with Strom. He uses Strom in the seventh inning, which I don't understand. I still don't understand his rationale with all those lefties coming up, because he knew a left-hander wouldn't be coming up if he brought Strom in. That's faulty.
Bottom of the lineup, too. That's the weirdest part for me.
All right. Yeah, he was stammering around. He didn't know how to explain that last night. This is Rob Thompson, L. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
An inside the park walk-off home run. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies ended up on the unfortunate side of history as the Giants walked it off with an inside the park 3-run home run from Patrick Bailey. It was the first walk-off inside the park home run since 2016, and the first time a catcher has done that since 1926. Jordan Romano was tagged with the blown save and the loss as he failed to complete a 5-out save. Thompson spoke postgame about the decision to lift Daniel Robert in the 8th and allow Romano to return for the 9th.
Once he got through his 3 hitters, it felt like it was time to get rid of that inning. And Romano came in and did a great job. 5 pitches, felt like he was strong, felt like he could probably finish it out.
He was unable to finish it out. Now the Phillies will attempt to avoid being swept by the Giants at 3:45 as Jesus Luzardo gets a start against Justin Verlander for San Francisco. The Summer Sixers snuck past the Grizzlies 91-90 last night behind 26 points from Judah Mintz. They're once again without third overall pick VJ Edgecombe, who sat out again with a thumb contusion. He is listed as day today. And the Union tonight hosts New York Red Bulls at 7 down at Subaru Park in the U.S. Open Cup quarterfinals. This update is brought to you by Aleve. Traffic and body pain can slow you down, but don't let the pain stop you. With just one pill, Aleve provides up to 12 hours of pain relief so you can keep moving. Use as directed. I'm Ray Dunn on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
28, Mike Missanelli Show. Ray, Don, I am not satisfied with your non-blame of Max Kepler here. So I want to get into this a little deeper. When a ball is hit, as a player on the field, your legs spin like Fred Flintstone towards where the ball's hit on an instinct. Like if I'm playing second base, the ball's hit down the right field line. My first move is to go towards the ball, whether I have a play on it or not. That's A. B, once the ball is in the air, and that ball was in the air for a really long time, it looks like it could hit that angled wall. Once it could hit the angled wall, do you now run towards it? I am not satisfied with your lack of blame on Max Kepler. Where is he on the play?
Mike, we can line up the phone lines with every single softball teammate I've ever had. They will tell you when that happens, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm running directly to the ball. I know
okay,
you're supposed
where
to
is
do
he
that.
then?
I'm saying that the blame you're taking today is directed at someone that I don't know if is in my top three for last night.
I'm not blaming. I'm asking, where is he on that play that he's not flowing towards the ball or anticipating that it could hit that angled wall and bounce towards him?
I'm just saying that I don't know how much it actually changes about last night. That's where the back and forth right now is happening.
You can't look at it like I don't know what it changes. You got to look at the means before the end. The means is maybe it does change it. Maybe he does able to get the ball and get it back in time, and he stops at third base. And the game is still going on as we speak.
Oh, God. It was already too late as it was, Mike. Maybe Kepler wanted all of us to sleep.
I just want to know where he was on the play.
And didn't Jason tell you where he was on the play?
Jason has no idea what he was thinking, he told me.
Yeah, I don't know why he was doing what he was doing either. I'm not telling you that.
Okay, well then if you don't know what he's doing, what he's doing, then he deserves some blame because he should know what he's doing.
I'm not saying that he's absolved of blame. I'm saying I don't know how much it actually changed, and if we were assigning blame here, it would probably not be in my top three here.
It's in my top three. They lost the game because the guy had an inside the park home run. The left fielder didn't flow towards the baseball. Had he flowed towards the baseball, maybe he holds him at third, and maybe the Phillies win in extra innings.
And if Brandon Marsh read it right off the wall, maybe he cuts it off in right center and stops him at third too.
Brandon Marsh is thinking he can catch the ball. He doesn't know he's running to make a catch.
He thinks he's catching that ball?
I don't know. He's running towards the ball. He's like listen, I'm frustrated by that loss last night. Let's get to general knowledge. Our categories today. General knowledge. NBA championship team starters.
Oh, man.
Uh-huh.
How many do you have to name?
Well, depending on what the team is, I'll say give me 3, Ray. And Shakespeare quotes. This is going to be easy for you, Ray.
I don't think so.
You have to fill in one word of the quote. Like if I say, to be or not to be, that is the
question.
There you go. You see?
1-0.
It is not 1-0.
Feels like it.
All right, we have more text about this whole thing. I need somebody to tell me, why am I thinking crazy here? Am I thinking crazy that Kepler was not in the frame of that play? Is this on me, or am I legit here? Do most people think I'm legit with this concern?
I think, again, the YouTube chat seems to believe with you, like the question. I don't think the question you're asking here is out of bounds. I just think the focus on it is a little too much for the problem.
What else could the focus be?
The bullpen. The way the bullpen was managed.
I've already focused on the bullpen. I ripped into the manager for misusing the bullpen. But two things can be true here, Ray.
And that's what I'm saying. Oh, my goodness. I've said to you now a couple of times that I think there is a legitimate question of what Kepler was doing.
Well, see, I didn't hear any of that last night at the game. Where was Kepler? I didn't hear it today. I didn't hear the question asked to Rob Thompson, where was Kepler? I haven't heard anything at all about Kepler. So am I the lone wolf here?
I just think that in terms of like you talked about this last week, enjoying a ball game and whether or not you go to the big questions here about what this team could do. Nobody enjoyed that ending last night. You watched that ending last night, and the big question a lot of people took away from it. Okay, bullpen, how is it managed? How does it look going in the future if you can't have a guy that closes out games? I don't think a lot of people are thinking that Max Kepler not backing up an inside the park home run is a big question for the team going forward.
Why aren't they thinking that? It's a natural baseball instinct to think that.
One, because some of us, I don't think, believe Max Kepler is going to be here by the end of July.
Who cares whether he's going to be here by the end of July? We're talking about the here and the now. We're talking about a game last night. Who cares? I don't care if he's not going to be here.
But I'm looking at the bullpen as the question of what's happening.
It could have been Joe Blow in left field. I would have asked the same question.
I got you. I don't know where he was. I don't know why he was doing what he was doing. If you want to see if we can get Paco Figueroa on the show to teach us what he's telling them out in the outfield and how they should be backing things up, sure.
Don't you have instincts as a baseball player? He's only been in the league 10 years. Do you have any instincts at all when the ball's flowing towards a certain way? You go towards that way when you see a wall out there that you've looked at pregame, that there's a wall that could bounce a ball off towards you? You don't anticipate that?
I got you, Mike. I'm just saying, what it could have changed last night to me doesn't feel like a ton.
Oh, the outcome of a game doesn't seem like a ton to you?
I don't think it changes the outcome of the game.
Holding him to a triple doesn't seem big to you? That's not important to you? If they would have held him to a triple?
He's coming from left field. The ball is going to roll all the way. I feel like I'm doing the Seinfeld thing where they're explaining how the spit happened. The ball's coming all the way from right center. By the time it rolls and the two meet in the middle.
Right. If you've got a head start flowing towards the ball, you've got a head start towards the trajectory of the bounce of the ball coming towards you.
Well, clearly the two other outfielders didn't gauge that bounce correctly either. So am I supposed to believe that he's going to?
The ball bounced away from Castellanos. He's out of play on this. The ball's bouncing towards left field.
Bouncing towards center.
It's bouncing towards left field.
It never made it to left field.
How far did that ball travel off the wall?
To dead center is where Marsh got to it.
It was not dead center that he got to it.
Isn't the 391 sign there dead center?
No, it's in left center. Not dead center. Dead center is where the ball hit.
No, it hit the right center field.
That's more center field than right center field.
That right center field big wall is the end of that right center. That's like the connection point of the two walls.
That's what it got. It's like you're protecting Max Kepler today.
I have no interest in Max Kepler. I just told you I think he's not going to be on the team very long because
give me a text that defies where Kepler was here. I want to see if I'm nuts. Are people thinking the same thing?
Well, here's someone that I don't agree with and you don't agree with. Maybe the infielders were out of position. Don't blame Max on a once-in-a-million bounce.
The infielders are 1,000 feet away from that ball. Max Kepler is closer to the ball than any infielder could have gotten to it. Sosa was out there as a relay man.
Another text here. Good morning, guys. Mike, you are not crazy. I actually said out loud watching the highlight, where's the left fielder? He's not even in the frame.
He's not in the frame. What is he doing? Is he standing still? Are his feet moving? That's the only question I have. He's not in the frame.
Now I'll give you one on the other side. Mike is out of his mind. You're asking to make water into wine. The question is out of bounds. They're not a fundamentally sound team. They're mediocre at best.
Oh, what does that have to do with anything? They're not a fundamentally sound team, so he doesn't have responsibility to chase the ball down? People are making me nuts now. 610-632-0975. General Knowledge Wednesday today. If you want to beat Ray, pretty nice prize. We'll tell you about it after this.
Do you feel
1041, Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5, The Fanatic, General Knowledge Wednesday. The prize today, a 4-pack of tickets to Adventure Aquarium. That's in Camden, New Jersey, where you can dive into Kaleidoscope Cove, the all-new world of color. Now open at Adventure Aquarium. Be mesmerized by flashlight fish and a glowing jellyfish exhibit in the glowing grotto. That sounds like a cool thing. Plan your visit at adventureaquarium.com. You want to take the kids there? This is a great prize for you today. And all you got to do is answer a question correctly to qualify for the end of the show. We will pick a winner at random. And the challenge is to beat Ray. And I believe you will slay Ray today. Ray has two categories. He got Shakespeare and general knowledge, which I think you'll come up small. You'll probably do well on the NBA championship starters.
I don't know. My memory on that is probably
depending
poor.
on how many I ask for. Like I could ask you for 2. That would be easy.
Yeah, but you won't.
No, I will. I want you to win, Ray. I'm actually a proponent of my producer, unlike you, challenging me on Max Kepler today, just to be contrarian.
Oh my gosh. You know,
Ray bailing out on me today, folks. Bailing out.
To be a contrarian on this one. That's where you're going with this? I'm just telling you that it's not at the top of my concern.
You're telling me this. A, Kepler not going to be here anyway. B, who cares? He's not to blame. And C, Rob Thompson's to blame because they're I agree. I agree with that. And it might not have mattered anyway. It may have mattered. That's my point. Every game matters, Ray. Every play matters towards winning a game.
Even if that game didn't count, even if that game was a spring training game I stayed up till 1 in the morning for, I'd be upset about because I stayed up and watched that ending.
I
gotcha.
It. I'm merely asking, where was he? That's all I'm asking.
Yes, and I just watched it again in the break because I was trying to figure out if I had misremembered it being in right center field. And he is basically just off of the infield behind where the shortstop plays.
Kepler is?
Yes.
So in other words, Jason was right. He was setting up to be some sort of stupid relay, which he should never even be in the frame as a relay guy, as an outfielder. I've seen that done in Little League, where the center fielder can't throw, so the left fielder comes over and takes the relay. It's Little League play.
I gotcha, Mike. He's not where I would want him to be.
It's bonehead play for him to be towards the infield. Imagine this. He's towards the infield trying to get a relay throw. And we're not blaming him? What's he have, scrambled eggs upstairs?
Not that we're not blaming him. It's that when I look at last night...
I'm now more livid than ever.
I can
He
tell.
decides that he wants to be the relay guy, so he's going to get in front of Sosa, who's already out there?
You're so upset right now that I might bring up the Sixers just to calm you down.
Oh, my God. All right, let's get to the phones. Let's talk to Richard Packer Park. Check it in. Richard, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up?
You promised to let me get my 2 cents in, Mike.
Get your 2 cents in. Go ahead.
Please, no. You don't get mad at me, please.
I'm not going to get mad at you. Go ahead.
I think your Germanophobia is kicking in. Kepler had no fault at all. He's in left field, even if he does everything. The guy scored standing up, Mike. He didn't score sliding. Even if he does everything that you ask him to do, given that premise that he does everything you ask him to do, that guy still
My
scores.
question is this, Richard. Where is Kepler? Why isn't he going towards the ball?
I'm going to answer your question, Mike. I was like an attorney. I'm going to answer your question, okay? Even if Kepler was where you, Mike Missanelli, wanted him to be, that guy would have scored.
You don't know that. You don't know that. You have no frame of reference to know that. That if he's flowing towards the ball, maybe he can hold him to a triple.
Oh, he's not. The guy scored standing up.
Because he wasn't there. That's why the guy scored standing up.
Your co-host is right. What's his name, Ray?
No, his name's Fred. How long have you been listening to this show? Yes, his name's Ray.
I always listen to you, Mike. You're my favorite guy.
All right, well, then you should know his name's Ray.
Right, all right. I was very upset. Ray would agree with me. You're the only guy that brings something up. It's like such a strange,
It's not strange at all. Kepler was towards the infield trying to get a relay throw from the outfield. What makes sense about that?
Jesus God. Even if he did, like you wanted him to do, that guy.
You don't know that because guess what? You're not Nostradamus. You have no idea whether he would have been able to hold him to not score.
You wanted him where? You wanted him going toward the ball?
He has to be going towards the ball. He's not. Why is he going towards the infield?
Oh, whatever.
See, you're whatevering me, and you're not listening to my point because you got it in your head. You're not.
Towards the ball. He holds him to a triple.
Right.
I'm saying.
You have it in your head that it wouldn't have mattered. I don't know that it wouldn't have mattered.
I'm saying I can see your point if the guy scored sliding. He scored standing up. So Ray makes a good point.
Ray does not make a good point because he's got an autographed picture of Kepler he's trying to protect.
I do too.
All right. Richard, you want to play general knowledge?
Please.
All right. What young...
Do I have a choice of...
This is the general knowledge category. What young...
Not Shakespeare?
No Shakespeare today. This is general knowledge. What young pharaoh's tomb was discovered in 1922?
What young what?
Pharaoh. The tomb.
Tutmos?
What'd you say?
Tutmos?
Well, you got it. It's not quite correct, but you said the good part. It's King Tut. So I'll give it to you.
His full name was Tutmos.
Tutankhamun is what it is.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on a second. You got it right. I actually saw the tomb in Egypt. Right.
Really?
Yes.
When would you go to Egypt?
I was in Egypt.
When did you make that trip?
It was a trip from Greece to the Greek islands to Egypt to Israel to Turkey and back to Greece.
Wow.
And I saw King Tut's tomb.
You see the pyramids?
I saw the pyramids as well. I saw the Sphinx.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well traveled, man.
But the pyramids and the Sphinx are now polluted by bauble sellers who are haranguing you to buy their cheap jewelry and stuff. Was not fun. Was not.
Oh, so that was happening when you were there too?
Yes.
Ah.
Yes, it was.
Well, you said now. I didn't know if things.
No,
this was I got.
I
to
don't
see
know
it
what it is now.
prime.
Maybe they cleaned it up now. I was there a while ago. So, but yeah,
That's pretty cool. That's a pretty awesome.
I rode a camel.
Really? Do we have pictures of this?
No.
Come on. There's a picture
I
of it
have
somewhere.
no idea where those pictures would be, but I was
there's pictures of it somewhere.
Probably. I don't know if I had to dig in my archives. But yeah, I was riding a camel.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That sounds like a fun trip.
Yeah.
Bucket list.
Yeah.
I want to ride a camel.
It was. It was 100. By the way, when we got to Turkey, it was 123 degrees.
Oh.
It was like a new record, a heat wave had come through.
Was it a dry heat?
It was a dry heat, but it was hotter than hell.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so hot that you had shoes on, walking on the pavement, and it came through the shoes.
Ooh.
That's how hot it was.
That'd be new shade of red.
All right, 610-632-0975. We got some people on hold that want to comment on this. I don't understand how the question can't be asked, how a broadcast could not mention it, how it could not be in a game story where Max Kepler was. And we now know that Max Kepler had gone towards the infield to anticipate some kind of a cutoff throw from the outfield, which is the responsibility of an infielder. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
An inside the park walk-off home run. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies ended up on the unfortunate side of history as the Giants walked it off with an inside the park 3-run home run from Patrick Bailey. It was the first walk-off inside the park home run since 2016 and the first time that a catcher has done that since 1926. Jordan Romano was tagged with a blown save and the loss. He failed to complete the 5-out save. Thompson spoke post-game about the decision to lift Daniel Robert in the 8th and allow Romano to return for the 9th.
Once he got through his 3 hitters, it felt like it was time to get rid of that inning. And Romano came in and did a great job. 5 pitches, felt like he was strong, felt like he could probably finish it out.
And that he did not. The Phillies now have to attempt to avoid being swept by the Giants at 3:45 as Jesus Luzardo gets to start against Justin Verlander for San Francisco. The Summer Sixers snuck past the Grizzlies 91-90 last night behind 26 points from Judah Mintz. They were once again without third overall pick VJ Edgecombe, who sat out once again with a thumb contusion. He is listed as day-to-day. And the Union hosts the New York Red Bulls at 7 down at Subaru Park in the U.S. Open Cup quarterfinals tonight. This update's brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. The Mercedes-Benz Dream Days are back with offers on vehicles like the 2025 E-Class, CLE Coupe, C-Class, and EQE sedan. Hurry in now through July 31st. Learn more at mbusa.com/dream. I'm Ray Dunn, the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Mike Missanelli Show. I want to hear Rob Thompson again explain why, Ray, he brought Strom in for the seventh inning. Can we hear that?
We got kind of caught back in the corner because we didn't have Kirkering. And so Strom pitched the seventh against all those lefties. And it was wanted to use Romano in the ninth just because of the intensity of the whole situation.
All right, stop it right there. Strom in the 7th against all those lefties. Nobody questioned what? Wait, there's one lefty. The first hitter was Young-Hoo Lee. Well, all of a sudden he's Ohtani? They weren't going to face another lefty. He wasn't going to face another lefty. Where are all those lefties?
Well, again, from his perspective on there, you're forcing the pinch hitter.
Okay, but he's still not going to face a lefty. So he brings Strom in thinking because of all those lefties, but there aren't all those lefties.
You're either going to get Dom Smith there, who is a lefty.
You're not going to get Dom Smith to face Strom. You're definitely going to get Flores. So why would you say all those lefties? That's my question. There are 2 righties that he's going to face.
But from his explanation there, he wanted to get him out there to take those 2 lefties. Again, I'm with you. I'm telling you that I don't think having him pitch against the bottom of the order was the right call right there.
A manager has to anticipate that there's not going to be all those lefties. There's only going to be one lefty. So therefore, why would you burn Strom there? And the most dangerous lefty that he's going to face is Young-Hoo Lee?
Hey, if he saw him in April, it's a whole different story.
All right. I get it. All right. I owe you a general knowledge question.
That is true.
I'm going to start off with an easy one because I feel bad for you today.
Why's that? Because they called me Fred in the last segment?
Because Richard didn't know who you were.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure that the return where they say, hey, Ray's here, is playing now every single break.
Yeah. Who's that guy? Who's the guy we work with? What's the name? Fred. It's Fred.
At least he didn't call me Bill.
In any event, here's your question. In poker, what is the name of the highest possible straight flush?
Royal.
Of course. You see the type of guy I am?
That was very nice of you.
I gave you a bop.
You gave me such an easy one that I was unsure there for a second if this was a trap.
No, it is a trap because now I'm going to ask you for 4 starters for every team that I ask you for.
Well, today's going to be fun.
All right, let's go back to the phones. And we've got Zach on the line. Zach in Rehoboth. Go ahead, Zach. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
How's it doing, Zach?
Good. Yeah, I just, you got to go back to the offseason with this team when they decide to run it back. You got to think, too, Kepler's cost this team $20 million because they're at that luxury tax threshold.
Uh-huh.
But something happened where they decided to say, let's run it back. I think they had an idea of maybe Chop and Boom or Castellanos. It didn't work out, so they panicked, and they had to get Romano and Kepler. But, what the hell is going on?
Well, listen,
who's the closer on this team?
It's something they can always fix, okay? And this is why the general manager has to fix it. Romano is not reliable. He's just not reliable. You can't use him in a 9th inning situation, in a playoff situation. In fact, they don't have anybody really that's reliable. If you're going to use are you desperate enough that you want to make Kirkring your 9th inning guy now? You got 3 guys really that you can use.
My thing is to stick with a guy. It's back and forth, back and forth. The other week, it was.
Well, but a manager has to trust a guy. A manager,
I agree.
He doesn't have any trust in a guy who can close out a 9th inning. So he has to do
Romano for a 5-out save.
Well, he says he didn't have anybody else, and he didn't at that point. He didn't. My question is, you can't use Romano and then bring him back. That's where you mismanaged it.
And Ricky Bo hit the nail on the head yesterday. It's all velo. But Romano was over the plate the whole goddamn night.
Well, he had a good 8th. He got out of the 8th in a tough spot.
He's throwing 80. What's he throwing? 86. I think Jamie Moore throws harder. Bring him in.
Who? Who you bringing in?
I'm saying that they preach this velo, and his velocity's high, so he's looking good. But
yeah, but believe me, velo.
What are they talking about?
Velo is going to be more successful than not velo. So I don't agree with Ricky.
I just think I think you got to give it to Kirker, and you give it to him for maybe a month and see what he does. But there's something where he wasn't available last night. They're not telling us.
No, he wasn't available because he pitched the night before. That's why he wasn't available. That's why
you got to bring him in there with that. You got to bring him in.
Well, he said he wasn't available because he pitched the day before. All right, here's your general knowledge question.
All right.
This is the starting lineups for NBA championship teams. I'm going to go back to 2022, the Warriors. Give me 4 starters on that Warriors team that won the title.
Jordan Poole, Curry, Draymond, and was it Jonathan Kuminga?
Who?
Kuminga? Or was he a rookie that year?
Jonathan Kuminga is your answer?
For the 4 starters, I think it's Jordan Poole, Curry, Draymond, and it was Kuminga in there?
Yeah, Paul was not a starter, so you got both those wrong. Sorry about that.
Clay Thompson.
All right, so it was Curry, Thompson, Green, right?
Kevon
Looney, and
Curry, Thompson, Green, Looney.
win for
Wiggins. That's
Andrew
right. Forgot
Wiggins.
Andrew Wiggins was the
was
fifth on
the
that.
other starter. You're listening to the Mike Missanelli Show on 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. All right, let's go to Ish in Levittown. Ish, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Ish. Yo, Ish.
Oh, yes. Hello? Hello.
Go ahead, Ish. You're
Oh,
on. You're on, bud.
Oh, sorry, Mike.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
Mike, I totally agree with you with Kepler. I think anybody with a good eye could see that he would have got him out. And he should have been under the ball. I think Rob Thompson, I don't know, he is mismanaging this, but I really blame Dabrowski just off the fact that we had Estevez and we had another arm, a bullpen, or this bullpen is dead. It's not good at all.
Well, the money situation prevented the Estevez and Hoffman re-signing. All right, so he wanted to go. Listen, Hoffman was no big loss. I don't think he's been lighting it a fire. Estevez has pitched well. I get it. He thought Romano would be worth the risk. You know, Romano did have a good 8th inning. My thing is, when you manage a game, you go, okay, is he capable of sitting in the dugout bench, and then if we're through one of our at bats, and then have to send him back out there? He took a chance with that, and it didn't work. So he mismanaged it.
He definitely has, and I don't know what we can do now. We need basically 3 players at the trade deadline, and I don't know at this point of what we're going to do or what Dombrowski.
Well, they need 3 is too much. They need 2, and we're going to talk of some trade possibilities with Jason Stark coming up at 11:25. Jim Bowden, the former general manager, had some ideas that he published in a story that was in the Athletic, so we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know what's going on with this team. I have 0 confidence right now.
All right. Well, listen, Ish. It's
Can I
time
get a
for
general knowledge?
Yeah, it's time for your general knowledge question. It's Shakespeare.
Okay.
Ish. Are you
Okay.
Are you well versed with your Shakespeare?
Yeah. I actually have a Shakespeare real quick. It's a ode to Ray. Ray. Oh Ray, let your hair down. Oh Ray.
Is that a Shakespearean quote?
Yes, that was Shakespearean O'Raymond.
All right. Here's your question. This is from the Shakespeare play Romeo and Juliet. Parting is such blank sorrow.
Parting is such a blank sorrow.
Parting is such blank sorrow. You fill in the blank.
Parting is a blank sorrow. Are where thorough? It's thorough.
No, I'm asking you to fill in. Parting is the next word. Parting is such, next word, then sorrow.
Quiet.
Quiet sorrow? Parting is such quiet sorrow? Is that your answer? That's way incorrect. Sorry.
Oh, no. This is bad. This is very bad.
Sorry, now
Oh, how did you miss that one?
Ray, you get 2. You get an NBA question. And by the way, it's parting is such sweet sorrow. Ray, the 2021 Bucks.
Ooh, all right.
Give me all 5 starters, Ray.
Oh, my gosh. Giannis, Lopez, Middleton, Holiday,
Correct.
and oh crap.
Former Sixer.
Oh, is PJ Tucker the
Yes!
fifth one on that one?
PJ Tucker is correct.
So the funny way I go back on this because a week or two ago I saw a clip that went viral again of PJ Tucker and Durant's mom going back and forth in that second round series.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, that had to have been the series where Durant's foot was on the line, the whole what happens there. So Tucker was on my mind as the potential for it. The former Sixer there sold that one for me. But, man. All right, that feels good.
All right.
That feels good.
So you take the lead at 2-1, and now here's your Shakespeare question.
And now I could just hit the buzzer.
From the play Hamlet.
Great.
To thine own self, blank, blank.
I giveth.
To thine own self, be true, is the correct.
Man.
I giveth. You giveth to Max Kepler? 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
The summer's here, and you know
Project operates with the same goal.
Missanelli Show, 97.5 Fanatic. Coming on Wednesday today, 4-pack of tickets to Adventure Aquarium. Kaleidoscope Cove, all new world of color now open at Adventure Aquarium in Camden, New Jersey. 4-pack of tickets, take the kids. Fun. All you got to do is get a correct answer today. You got a chance to win it. Ray ahead, 2-1 on the audience. All right, so I'm lamenting. I might, be in the minority. I am lamenting the misjudgment of Max Kepler last night, even though it was a fluke that the Giants won that game, and maybe the Phillies couldn't have done anything about it. I'm just wondering where a major league player's responsibility is. When you get to San Francisco, the outfielders are tutored on that wall on what can happen in that quirky field there. I assume Paco has a tutorial that if a ball hits that wall, it may bounce towards left field. I don't know. Maybe it's a possibility. Maybe you want to anticipate that. Maybe Paco didn't go over it. But maybe as a major league player, in your head, you go, that ball could hit the wall. Maybe I ought to hustle my ass over there and in case there's a carom. I don't know. Maybe I'm speaking out of turn. Let's go back to the phones. We got Joe in Mantua. Joe, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Joe?
Yeah, Mike, you're definitely not speaking out of turn. You got to give Fred the benefit of the doubt. He's a younger guy. May not understand all the nuances of Major League Baseball, but it's no different than a center fielder coming up to back up and attempt to steal second. It's no different than a right fielder moving towards the right field line if there's a dribbler or sacrifice bunt in front of the plate. Mm-hmm. Someone, you got to be moving. There's no... He's at the
exactly. You got to be moving. That's my point. Like, where is he moving to?
And it looked to me like when... in full disclosure, I went to bed last night after the top of the ninth. I figured if they win the game, great. But if they lose the game, I won't be able to sleep anyway. So anyway, I mean, but it looked to me like when Marsh picked that ball up, he was pretty much in left center field. If that ball was hit the left center field, Kepler and him would have been about 10 feet from each other when the ball was caught. But he was nowhere to be found. It was just
now we learn that he had actually gone towards the infield in order to take a relay throw from Marsh.
Well, was the relay throw confirmed? I think he was just looking for a place to hide. I mean,
I don't know what he was doing, but he wasn't in the frame, and the reason why he wasn't in the frame is that he was moving. He was moving towards the infield.
Again, looking for a place to hide. But, I mean, he should have been back in that playoff. I mean, I remember years ago, JT hit a home inside of Parker. I think he was going to see it in the playoffs.
Uh-huh.
And the same thing, I think the center fielder fell down or whatever, and the ball's rolling towards right. And Acuna, I'm thinking to myself, watching, where's Acuna at? What's he doing?
Exactly.
Still in the field? I mean,
yes.
He was nowhere to be found. It's just, major league players, I mean, they're immensely talented, great athletes, but it's the little things like that that make a difference in winning and losing a lot of times.
I hear you, brother. See, Joe,
again,
I needed your call today, Joe.
That run.
I needed your call.
Stop that run.
Yep, he might not have, but it would have been interesting to see if he could have gotten to that ball.
By not moving, he guaranteed the guy was scoring.
Correct. You're a smart baseball man, Joe.
A little bit.
Here's your general knowledge question. Aardvarks eat two types of insects. Give me one of them.
I want to go out on a limb and say ants.
You are correct. The audience, hold on a second there. Let me put you on hold here, Joe. Joe is correct. Ants and what else? Termites. So if you have a lot of wood around your house, it would be helpful to have a pet aardvark.
I've been looking into it.
You get that at the pet store? Where can you get it?
No, I know a guy.
You know a guy?
Yeah.
An aardvark?
I've got an aardvark guy.
Now, is an aardvark also an anteater, or are they two different species?
Two different species.
They are?
That's why I haven't yet made a decision on my pet.
You know this? Is it two different species?
Seeing how long I can sell that.
All right. Back to the text board. What do you got?
Some more people upset with the outfield positioning. I agree with you on this Kepler topic, and it's just like what that caller just said. It reminds me of when Acuna didn't back up Michael Harris in the Realmuto inside the park home run. It's about effort, and it seemed like he wanted nothing to do with that play.
Okay. There you go. All right, Ray, are you ready for your general knowledge question?
I have one more good text if you want to get it.
Okay, give me one more good text. Go ahead.
Ray is making me want to bang my head against a wall, then stick my head in a toilet and flush it.
See that? See what you're doing to people? With this pro Max Kepler stands of yours?
It's not pro.
It is. It's weird. It's like Colarulo and Sirianni all of a sudden.
Whoa.
Protecting poor little Max?
To be very clear on this one, no one here will ever get to the level Bill is with that guy. And Kepler is a guy I've told you time and time again I do not like. It is just that from last night, the one thing I took away was not, if he made center field, they still are playing that game right now.
Isn't there more than one thing you could take away from a game?
I'm just saying, when the fixation on it to me is the fascinating part here.
It's a double fixation. My first fixation, which I've played the soundbite many times where I disagree with the manager's flimsy rationale about bringing in Strom because we had to face all those lefties.
Mm-hmm.
But it also, where is the left fielder on that play?
I got you.
There's the general knowledge question. What became, in 1997, the second country to reach a population of 1 billion?
China.
That was the first country.
Oh, so India.
It is India. Well, there you go, Ray. You were close, but no cigar.
I didn't know which one was first.
Let's go to Bill in Bristol. Bill, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Bill?
Hey, I agree with you about Kepler, but I have a different slant on it.
All right, go ahead.
I think he thought it was a home run off the bat, and he was jogging off the field to end the game and got caught where he was caught.
Well, that's even a worse violation.
Yes.
That's even worse.
It's only explanation of where he was, why he would be there.
There is no reason for him to be there. There's no reason that a major league player should be taking a cutoff from a co-outfielder.
I agree. I don't think he was there to make the cutoff. I think he thought the game was over on the hit.
Well, then that's the double bonehead move if that's what he thought.
I agree with you. And brings me to the other point is, I don't agree with this left field, right field platoon. We're sacrificing defense for offense, and we're not getting the offense. If it was me, I'd leave Rojas in center field and put Marsh in left field, and that's where he plays a better left field. He's not a center fielder.
So you would play Marsh against left-handers, and you would play Rojas against right-handers?
I would play them both all the time.
You would play Rojas all the time?
Yes, and Marsh in left field.
Oh, my God. Rojas is a full-time player, would hit $170.
I understand that, but
then you can't have him
until we fix this. Until we fix the center field position, Marsh is a much better left fielder than
I get it, but just because he's a better left fielder doesn't mean that he should play every day and Rojas should play every day.
We don't have then platoon Marsh and think of the other guys that got us off the over 26 that played left field last
Kemp?
night. Can't think of
Kemp?
Yes, platoon Kemp and Marsh.
And what do you do with Kepler?
He stays on the bench. He's not going to be here much longer anyway.
You're going to make him a bench player? And you're going to play Otto Kemp as a regular platoon guy?
Same thing with Stan Rojas. I'd leave Stan out there all the time. Just Rojas be a pinch hitter. Then Kemp and Rojas would be your pinch hitters off the bench.
Rojas is a pinch hitter?
I'd rather go for the defense.
Yeah, you're all over the place here, Bill. I don't know what you're saying here. Let's pin this down. What do you want to do in left field now? You want to play Kemp every day?
No, platoon Marsh and Kemp.
And play Rojas every day in center?
Until you come up with a better center fielder. His defense makes up for the offense.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
it really doesn't. His defense does not make up for his lack of hitting.
How many hits has Marsh given up in center field by not being able to catch the ball, run around in circles?
All right, but he's not a Gold Glover. He's okay, and Rojas, I would think, is a better center fielder. But you can't play Rojas every day. You just can't. He can't hit well enough at this level. All right, man. Let me give you a general knowledge question. You ready?
Yes. Sir.
All right. In 2019, do we remember? The Raptors won the NBA championship. Give me 3 starters on that Raptors team.
I'm not going to get it right because I
You giving up? Are you giving up?
I'm giving up.
You're not going to get one starter? Not even one starter on that team? One starter should be really easy. 2 starters should be really easy. Ray? I'm going to give you the same question. Give me 4 starters on the 2019 Raptors.
Kawhi, Lowry, Danny Green.
That's 3.
off the rip there. And the problem is the front court, because I don't remember who they were starting by the end of that season. I'm going to give you the two here. We'll start with Gasol and then Ibaka.
You are right on Gasol, which means you get the question right.
Good thing I went with Gasol first.
Siakam was the other starter.
Oh, crap, Siakam.
You forgot Siakam.
He's just such a pacer in my mind now, you know?
3-2, Ray takes the lead. Guess who's coming up next? Jason Stark for some fun and frivolity. Talking baseball on the Mike Missanelli Show. Stay tuned.
Fanatic Sports Update.
An inside the park walk-off home run. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies ended up on the unfortunate side of history as the Giants walked it off with an inside the park 3-run home run from Patrick Bailey. It was the first walk-off inside the park home run since 2016 and the first time a catcher has done that since 1926. Jordan Romano was tagged with the blown save and the loss as he failed to complete a 5-out save. Rob Thompson spoke post-game about the decision to lift Daniel Robert in the 8th and allow Romano to return for the 9th.
Once he got through his 3 hitters, I felt like it was time to get rid of that inning. And Romano came in and did a great job. 5 pitches, felt like he was strong, felt like he could probably finish it out.
And that he did not. The Phillies will attempt to avoid being swept by the Giants at 3:45 as Jesus Luzardo gets to start against Justin Verlander for San Francisco. Jason Stark will join us coming up next to talk about all things Phillies and, of course, the wacky baseball you watched last night. The Summer Sixers snuck past the Grizzlies 91-90 last night behind 26 points from Judah Mintz. They were once again without third overall pick VJ Edgecombe, who sat out with a thumb contusion. He is day-to-day. And the Union tonight hosts the New York Red Bulls at 7 down at Subaru Park in the U.S. Open Cup quarterfinals. This update is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. The Mercedes-Benz Dream Days are back with offers on vehicles like the 2025 E-Class, CLE Coupe, C-Class, and EQE sedan. Hurry it now through July 31st. Learn more at mbusa.com/dream. I'm Ray Dunn on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
The summer's here, and you know what that means. Engagement season. But remember, don't force it.
Don't tell your significant other something so ridiculous they almost feel obligated to engage and prove you wrong. Let it be natural. Let it be intelligent and entertaining. Let it be unfiltered. With Ricky Bowe and Bill Colarulo every weekday from 2 to 6 p.m.
Make the switch. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business, powering possibilities.
Now through July 21st, new customers can get started with 150 megabit internet for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get up to a $500 prepaid card for your business. Call and switch to Comcast Business today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Making choices in the morning can be a bit much. I just want someone to say sausage or egg and cheese biscuit, sausage and cheese or egg and cheese English muffin, small seasoned potatoes, or medium hot coffee. Get 2 for only $3. At Wendy's, fresh made food means simple choices. Dare we say it's even a little fun? Okay, not like roller coaster fun. There's only so much we can do, people. When you want less thinky and more brekky in the morning, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only during breakfast hours. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hi,
Hi, it's me, Flo, here to tell you that with the Progressive Home and Auto Bundle, you get 24/7 protection, so you're covered no matter where the day takes you.
Even bad hair day?
Yep.
And tree branch fell on my car day?
Especially that day. Progressive has you covered 24/7 for your home and auto.
How about thought it was chicken, but it was tuna day? Or overnight construction outside my bedroom day?
Those days too.
Great, because that was each day this week.
Been there. Well, at least your home and auto are covered every day with Progressive.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Hey, this is Andrew Salciunas.
I'm John Kincade.
This is Mike Missanelli.
Ricky Batalico here.
We've done some great work with businesses across the Delaware Valley.
Companies like Landis Block, Waste Management's Bagster, and Comcast Business.
We only endorse businesses and products that we truly use and value.
Think about the impact of hearing fanatic personalities talking about your organization and driving customers to your company.
Go to 975thefanatic.com/advertise to learn more about how The Fanatic can help you market your products and services.
This is Philadelphia's station for breaking sports news. Powered by Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com.
That's LundyLaw.com.
97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Mike Missanelli. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
It's 11:27, Mike Missanelli Show. It's a Wednesday. Wednesday's show now is Wednesday, but it's also Jason Stark Day. And I got to be honest with you. When that ball hit that wall and he circled the bases for a game-winning 3-run walk-off home run inside the park, the first guy I thought of was our next guest, Jason Stark. He's got a doctorate in Major League Baseball. That's why he's in the Major League Hall of Fame. He is a brilliant writer for The Athletic. Jason, you're the first guy I thought about because I knew you'd come up with some wild and wacky stuff about that ending.
Yeah, I think that is a compliment, Mike. That is my brand, right?
Okay, it's got you all written all over it.
Yeah, so since we do a stat of the week here every week,
yes,
I'm guessing you thought it might have something to do with inside the park walk-off homers, right? So, everybody who watches that play thinks of themselves, I don't know if I've ever seen that before. And that's my whole mission in life, to answer that question. So, Mike, here we go. First walk-off inside the park homer against the Phillies since 1946. Okay, Pete was it Reiser of the Brooklyn Dodgers?
Pete Reiser. Pete Reiser. Yes,
There we go.
Absolutely.
All right. Catchers. I knew you guys were already on this, but third walk-off inside the park homer by a catcher in the history of the sport, and the first in 99 years. First by a team that was trailing when the ball left the bat, since Angel Pagan did it for the Giants. That was 12 years ago, and if you watch the video, you can find it out there. Almost identical ball to almost an identical spot. So that was crazy. But here's my favorite tidbit on this. The first walk-off inside the park homer, easy for me to say, by any team that was trailing by 2 runs or more when the ball left the bat, since one of the legendary home runs in Phillies history, Bob Dernier, I know you remember him, Mike,
absolutely,
against the Giants, May 15th, 1989, at the Vet. I've posted this on both X and Blue Sky for people who want to hear the great
he dove across
Harry
the plate,
Caray
right?
call.
Did he dive across the plate on that?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, it was a dive.
Yes,
I remember Bob Dernier, and I also remember he smoked a pack a day. But that was beside the point. But now you're certifiably insane. That game ended at 12 midnight. You mean to tell me you're doing all this research after the fact to come up with this stuff today? That's the way your brain works?
That in the morning.
Oh, you did it in the morning? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I thought you were going to stay up late at night to come up with all this stuff.
I'm not living now to post these little tidbits on X anymore.
Okay.
So,
all right.
You could wait till today.
So, Jason, you and I were going back for a text a little bit. Now, I thought it was really peculiar that Max Kepler was not in the frame at all. Now, maybe he wouldn't have been able to stop it inside the park home run. But it seems to me that an outfielder would flow towards where the ball is, and he didn't. In fact, he came towards the infield more. And your theory was that he thought he was going to be a cutoff man of some sort?
You picked up on this. Nobody else really has, so very observant by you. I don't know if it changes anything. Here is my guess. And my guess is he's thinking, like everybody, that ball's out of here. That ball's out of every park in baseball except that one.
Yeah.
And if he was assuming that, then he's committed a violation just by assuming. What's the one thing you never do when you're in the middle of a sporting event? Assume what you think is going to happen. Play it out as if something else could happen. It might help.
Yeah.
And I think he got caught in the Bermuda Triangle, like pretty much heading off the field, so he decided to set up and be a cutoff man. I don't know what else he could have done, because that schematic that I sent you,
Yeah.
He does not move at all. He just starts drifting in.
It's really weird. You can't assume that was going to be a home run. I mean, he escaped blame in that whole thing. But
well, like in his defense, he'd only started 4 games. Actually, he didn't start last night. So 5 games in that park in his life before last night, and that ball doesn't bounce that way anywhere else in the world that he's ever been.
Yeah,
Nevertheless,
yeah,
it's a mistake.
it's a crazy play to end the game. All right, let me talk. This is a very serious issue to me, as it should be for every Philly fan. The health of Bryce. Now I'm looking at him, and it looks like he's got it in his head that's going to hurt. I haven't noticed the same type of confidence swings since he's been back. What is your take on this whole thing with him playing the rest of the year with this?
Yeah, this is a big question, and I think he's the biggest X factor maybe in the league this year. First off, I don't know that we have seen the real Bryce at any point this season. I mean, right now he's obviously a mess. 4 for 22 with 10 strikeouts since he came back and no extra base hits. But even before that, Mike, we have not seen him consistently be able to hit the ball hard in the air to the pull side at any point. 4% pull rate on balls in the air this year. Unheard of for Bryce Harper. Now, he still hits the ball hard when he hits it, but he's seeing a ton of off-speed. He sees the fewest pitches inside the strike zone of any hitter in baseball. And one reason for that is he's chasing outside the zone at a rate that we've never seen him chase. So the upshot is he actually has fewer home runs this season than Cody Clemens has hit for the Twins since the Phillies DFA'd him. And if I had told you in March that would be the state of Bryce Harper on July 9th, would you have said you thought the Phillies would be in first place now?
No, it's pretty amazing that they are hanging in there with that. But, for this long haul, they can't. I don't think they can do it with him at this kind of a level. But
he's got to be better.
Yeah, there's no question. And it looks like he's favoring it. He's not torquing as much as like he used to torque.
Yeah, we talked about this with Ray last week when you weren't here, but this is an interesting situation because he had the same thing last year. It came back. He never had surgery. He's admitted he still feels it to at least some extent. And the thing about Bryce is he's got the Tiger Woods hack. He takes twice as many really hard swings as the average hitter in the sport. So how impacted is a guy like that by a wrist issue? And does a wrist issue go away for a hitter like that?
It's a major point of contention. All right, let me get to this all-star snub thing because we've been talking about it. I think Turner got snubbed. The other 2 pitchers, maybe you can make a case. A guy that leads the league in hitting probably should be the third shortstop, or at least a position player. But there's a reason why you could justify these snubs, correct?
Well, I can explain it because nobody seems to understand how this team is selected. I understand why people are upset. It's a little bizarre that on the same day that the league announces the All-Stars, a team that fired its manager and general manager has as many All-Stars as the team leading that same division. But let me explain how the system works. This isn't a snub by the league. It's not a snub by Dave Roberts, who is managing the team. It's not a snub because somebody hates the Phillies. It's about a system that is messed up, that should be fixed. Almost the entire pitching staff now is chosen by the players. I mean, there's always going to be a couple of guys they have to jam onto the team, so every team has an all-star, which is another rule we could talk about. But the reason in particular that Christopher Sanchez and Ranger did not make the team is they were not in the top 5 starting pitchers in the players' vote. Then yesterday they have to replace Yamamoto because he's pitching Sunday. The reason Andrew Abbott is the first injury replacement and not those 2 Phillies is he had more votes from the players than Sanchez or Ranger. I like all of this is logical to a point. Here's the flaw in the system. You know when the players voted? It wasn't last week. If they vote last week, you get the best and most deserving players on the team. No, Trey Turner let this slip. It was 3 weeks ago. So that's why those 2 Phillies pitchers aren't on the team. It's why Trey is not on the team. It's why Juan Soto, who had an incredible June, was the player of the month, is not on the team. It's because the players vote too early. Their votes rule. The system needs fixing. And just because I hate this, we do not need to have an all-star from a team that's 50 games under 500 before the break.
That's a good point. Good point. Just leave it to the writers. Let the writers select the guys, right? Forget the players.
Yeah.
All right. Last thing I want to talk to you about is Ranger Suarez, because we're getting a lot of, maybe they should keep him now. He's been so dominant, even though his velocity is down. The fact that he's got that back situation and velocity down, does that mitigate what Scott Boras can ask for him? And what do you think that price would be?
Are you familiar with Scott Boras?
Yes. That's why I ask you. So what's the price?
I don't think we can answer that question yet, but it's certainly going to be 9 figures. I'm going to guess it's probably in Aaron Nola territory, right? Which is like
25 mil.
What, 172 million, right? It's going to be somewhere in that neighborhood. And Aaron Nola got paid because he always posted.
Yep.
Can you pay Ranger that money when you have no confidence that he will post 30 times?
That's interesting. Well, Boras will ignore that.
He will ignore that.
Yes, he will ignore that.
Guaranteed he will ignore it. You know, there are teams out there, the Dodgers come to mind, just wrote about this the other day, that don't care about volume, that don't care how many times a guy posts. That signed Blake Snell, knowing he's not going to post, because all they want their pitchers to do is, when they actually get them to the mound, be great.
Yeah.
They prioritize stuff, quality, performance over any sort of volume. They don't care how many different starting pitchers they use. They don't care if anybody pitches enough innings to qualify for the ERA title. They're just hoping that in October they can line up the guys with the best stuff. There are teams that think that way. One of them will pay Ranger. I do not think that team will be the Phillies. It's the reason they traded for Jesus Luzardo. They've got Andrew Painter coming. That's what I see. I just don't see him being back.
All right. Sounds good. Now, Jason, before I let you leave, it is General Knowledge Wednesday. And we happen to be in the Shakespeare category.
I have no general knowledge of Shakespeare.
I think you do. So this is from the play Richard III, and the quote is, "My kingdom for a blank."
So blank is not the right answer?
Come on. You had Shakespeare in Syracuse, did you not? My kingdom for a blank.
It's like an animal?
It is an animal. My kingdom for a blank. A horse is correct, Jason. Nice job.
What a do I win?
You win a general knowledge aquarium tickets. There you go.
Really?
Yes.
I get to go to the aquarium?
If you're picked at random at the end of the show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not. There's no way you're picking me at random.
I've already told our producers you're ineligible. So thanks for participating. Jason, always a pleasure.
I was going to win a horse.
No, yeah, you're going to win a horse. Thanks, man. We'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good, Mike.
There he is, the great Jason Stark joining us. 610-632-0975. We'll take a break. We'll come back. It is General Knowledge Wednesday. Did you know that one, Ray? My kingdom for a horse?
Not a shot.
My kingdom for a horse. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic.com. Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or play stop to opt out.
Ugh, why does my bank always charge me fees?
That's because your bank is trash. Ever heard of Current? You could get a paycheck advance up to $750 if you qualify.
Wait, $750? Like before payday?
Exactly. It's your money, just early. Set up an eligible direct deposit, see if you qualify, and that's it.
So what's the catch?
No catch. No overdraft fees, no annual fees. And you can build your credit without falling into debt.
Wow, I needed this like yesterday. What do I do?
Text them. That's it.
To get started with Current, text free to 323232. That's free to 323232.
Banking services provided by Choice Financial Group and or Cross River Bank, both members FDIC. Paycheck advance provided by Fineco Advance LLC, a financial technology company, not an FDIC-insured bank. Product eligibility, availability, and performance may vary and are subject to change at any time. Using your credit card responsibly may allow you to improve your credit score. For details on cost, terms, and conditions, visit current.com or call 1-888-851-3177.
Nothing says summer like the taste of a classic Rocket Pop. And now it's at Rita's. New Rocket Pop Ice is a refreshing flavor inspired by the iconic red, white, and blue Ice Pop. Enjoy it in a Rocket Pop Ice Blender drink or stacked high in our 5-layer gelati for a burst of fun in every bite. Don't forget to add new firecracker glitter topping for an extra explosion of flavor. But hurry, Rocket Pop Ice is only at Rita's for a limited time.
Be cool, go to Rita's. Be cool, eat at Rita's.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Colon cancer is the 4th leading cause of cancer-related deaths in the U.S. So let's talk about prevention and screening. Did you know that diet and exercise can reduce your risk? That screening can begin at home. And colorectal cancer is highly treatable if caught early.
This station is a part of the Beasley Best community of caring. For more information and ways you can help, visit 975thefanatic.com/caring. That's 975thefanatic.com/caring.
Hey, it's Ricky Bo. Come hang with me this Thursday, July 10th from 7 to 9 p.m. at Bistro on Bridge in Phoenixville. We'll talk all things baseball, we'll enjoy some ice-cold Coronas, and give away great prizes, including tickets to sit in Ricky Bo's row. Grab $5 Corona Extra bottles and $5 Modelo Especial drafts while you're there. Don't miss the fun. Meet me and the Fanatic crew this Thursday at Bistro on Bridge, presented by Corona, the official cerveza of Major League Baseball.
Not only can you listen to The Fanatic, but you can also watch on 97.5 The Fanatic's YouTube channel.
Watch the live stream of Kincade and Salciunas, weekdays from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. and the Mike Missanelli Show from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Go to youtube.com/97.5 The Fanatic Philadelphia and subscribe today. today to be part of the action. The Mike Missanelli Show with Ray Dunn and the one and only Mike Missanelli. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
It's 11:45 on the Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic. On a General Knowledge Wednesday, coming up in 15 minutes. The news at noon. All right, so Jason reiterated what one of our callers had said, that he thought that Kepler may have assumed that the ball was gone and that he was trotting towards the infield to get off the field. Now, Ray, what do you think?
I heard Jason say he doesn't really think it would have mattered the result of the game.
Well, I would say the same thing. Maybe it wouldn't have mattered. That's not the point. The point is you play the game.
Yeah, it's inexcusable if he thought the game was over and stopped playing.
All right. So that's the first criticism I've heard of you today for Max Kepler, your new favorite player.
You have not been listening to me then, quite clearly.
I don't know. I think a lot of people have been listening. All of a sudden, you got this thing for Kepler.
That's not true. Not at all. Not in the slightest. Not been a fan of the guy from the jump, from the signing.
He also said that I'm the only one that picked up on this.
He did say that.
Uh-huh.
He said that to me also on the phone before as well.
Which now he's picked up on, and he goes, yeah, you know what? Maybe it should have been considered. You think? Sometimes you got to have x-ray vision. Do I owe you a general knowledge question? I'm counting Jason as a correct answer from the audience.
Okay. All right. Fine. Sure.
We're back into Shakespeare.
So, yeah, you do owe me one if Jason counts.
Jason counts. It's 3-3.
Yep.
This is from Julius Caesar. You've got to get this one. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your blanks. I've come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. Friends, Roman countrymen, lend me your...
Ears?
Correct, Ray!
Oh, wow, all right.
Lend me your ears is correct.
So he's making a speech. I guess he wants them to listen.
It's Mark Antony.
Very proud of him. Good work.
After Caesar was slain.
Yeah.
On the Ides of?
March.
Correct, Ray!
Hey.
See, you know your Shakespeare.
No, I don't. Let's not make any bones about this.
Let's go back to the phones. Greg in Bethlehem. Greg, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Greg?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Greg.
You too, Ray.
Look at you picking. Shooting a stray at Ray? Like, ish isn't enough? Now you got Greg got to shoot one? All right.
Well, you know.
This is bad. This is very, very bad.
Ray takes it well.
Or Fred, as we call him around here.
I always thought, or I have been thinking, that Rob Thompson has pretty good baseball IQ, but last night with the bullpen management, I questioned that. You know, I don't know how you can expect Romano to pitch in 2 innings. So you got to be thinking that. Has he ever pitched in 2 innings? Probably not. You know, you can't expect somebody who is already inconsistent, in my opinion, to go for 2 innings. So you can't throw Strom in the 7th. It just doesn't.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. You're making a really good point. At that point, I think you got to trust. You got to trust whoever you have who's not Strom to use in the 7th.
Absolutely. I mean, how many rag arms do they have in the bullpen?
I mean, they brought guys up. They get this Robert guy. He's on. You're in the pen. All right, so maybe you cross your fingers. Maybe you're not that confident that Robert can get you through that inning. But otherwise, you go, well, what do I have to close the game out? I'm in the lead here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, you're paying those guys to do a job. If they can't do it, well, you know, somebody's responsible for putting that crap in the bullpen. But you got to, if Kirkery's not available, you got to save Strom and Romano for the 8th and the 9th. And I just don't see. I
agree.
just don't understand.
Maybe you go Lazar 2 innings.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pitched 2 innings before.
Yeah, I don't know. I sometimes I think we're expecting Topper to spin flax into gold, but I think there are some decisions that, if I can think of it, I would think he should be able to think of it.
Is that biblical?
And
Did you just go biblical on me? Spinning flax into gold? What's that from?
I think it's biblical.
It is biblical, isn't it? Who spun flax into gold? All right.
I'm not.
Was that Shakespeare?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I knew all the Shakespeare
you did?
situations.
Oh,
Yeah,
Rumpelstiltskin. Rumpelstiltskin spun straw into gold. Yeah.
That's
in exchange for a woman's firstborn child. By the way, that was the bargain he made. Rumpelstiltskin.
That's a classic.
Yeah, fairy tale.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just think sometimes Topper.
I hear you. I hear you, bro. I hear you. All right, let me give you a general knowledge question. We got a break coming up.
All right.
Here is your question. For what international event were the Eiffel Tower and the Space Needle constructed? I'm aware of this event. I didn't know that the Eiffel Tower was constructed for it as well. I knew the Space Needle was. That's insane.
Well, it must have been one of the expos. I don't know what.
Well, there used to be what was the major expo in this country for years and years, starting in the 50s, I think.
World Fair?
Correct. Now, should I give him that, Ray? I'll give it to you. Congratulations. Right. The audience now ties Ray 4-4. Hold on a second.
Beautiful.
We'll put you on hold there, Greg. The World's Fair.
I wanted to be spiteful there and say no.
Did you know the World's Fair, Ray? Are you aware of the World's Fair?
Well, once you said it was the main expo, that was that really limited number of expos of which I would have thought of.
So you had it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. Where else was the World's Fair? Was the World's Fair in New York City at one point?
I thought it was.
I think you're right. Mike Missanelli Show coming up shortly. The news at noon.
Fanatic Sports Update.
An inside the park walk-off home run. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies ended up on the unfortunate side of history as the Giants walked it off with an inside the park 3-run home run from Patrick Bailey. It was the first walk-off inside the park home run since 2016. The first time a catcher has done that since 1926. Jordan Romano was tagged with the blown save and the loss. He failed to complete a 5-out save. Rob Thompson spoke postgame about the decision to lift Daniel Robert in the 8th and allow Romano to return for the 9th.
Once he got through his 3 hitters, I felt like it was time to get rid of that inning. And Romano came in and did a great job. 5 pitches, felt like he was strong, felt like he could probably finish it out.
That he did not. The Phillies will attempt to avoid being swept by the Giants at 3:45 as Jesus Luzardo gets to start against Justin Verlander for San Francisco. We spoke to the Hall of Famer Jason Stark earlier in the 11 o'clock hour. You catch that conversation on our website one more time, 975thefanatic.com. Summer Sixers snuck past the Grizzlies 91-90 last night behind 26 points from Judah Mintz. They're once again without third overall pick VJ Edgecombe, who sat out with a thumb contusion and is considered day-to-day. The Union hosts New York Red Bulls at 7 o'clock tonight down at Subaru Park in the U.S. Open Cup quarterfinals. This update is brought to you by Macy's Backstage. Macy's Backstage is a whole new floor inside Macy's, and right now you'll find the latest summer styles all for under $25. With new arrivals every day, you never know what amazing deals you'll find. I'm Ray Dunn on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
The Fanatic, we're reliving the nightmare of last night's loss. Hard to believe that they would lose that game and the way they lost it. And if you listened to Jason Stark a little earlier, how rare that was that it would be done in the first place, much less a catcher doing it as he romped around the bases. Not a fast man is Patrick Bailey, but he scored standing up. And one of the things I picked up on it was where was our left fielder on that play? Maybe it wouldn't have mattered, but I would have liked to have seen the left fielder in the frickin' frame, and he apparently wasn't. He was headed towards the infield thinking that it was a home run. I don't know. I don't get it. But in any event, the bullpen was mismanaged last night. Lazar threw 11 pitches. Is that right? He threw 11 pitches?
Lazar?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quick.
Lazar threw 11 pitches. So he used Strom the next inning because he feared Lee and Dominic Smith.
Yep.
That's why he used Strom in the seventh. Burned him in the seventh inning of a game that they were winning.
Mm-hmm.
Who are we talking about here? Lee and Dominic Smith. Who are we talking about? Barry Bonds and Ohtani?
Not quite. Not exactly the same
That's what
hitters.
I mean. If you got a short pen and you got Lazar who threw a clean inning, maybe you take the chance and you save Strom for later?
I'm all for saving Strom.
Well, who
I don't
else
know
would
if I'm
you
rolling out there with Lazar for
in
a second
inning? Who would you have used? Robert?
I guess Joe Ross.
Ross?
Well, and that goes to the question of what's at his disposal.
Maybe you do use Ross. I don't know. Maybe in that situation you use Ross. It seems like he's got more confidence these days in Lazar than he has Ross.
Can you blame him?
Well, then use Lazar another inning. What are your choices?
You're talking about second inning here. And we saw what happened. Romano sat down, came back up. Like, Lazar is a less qualified pitcher than Romano.
But he's younger.
Yeah,
and he's pitched 2 innings in the past, hasn't he?
Yeah, but he was going on back-to-back days, right? Because he pitched Monday night. Didn't he get them out of the jam that when Kirkering was in?
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure he was going back-to-back days at that point.
In any event, it's 12 o'clock. It's 12 noon. Happy lunchtime, everybody. You're listening to Mike Missanelli Show, WPEN and WPEN HD1. Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. It is now time, ladies and gentlemen, for the news at noon.
There's a whole lot going on in this world. It's time to catch up. Here's the news at noon. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Oh, the news at noon. Our producer, Fred, normally does not go into the world of celebrityhood, but today is going to be a little different. Right, Ray?
That's right. It does tie into football, does take you to a New Heights podcast, so I feel like it's at least sports adjacent here. Apparently, Brad Pitt and Bradley Cooper did not speak for 2 months following the Super Bowl. Brad Pitt also taking credit for putting the Eagles' Super Bowl win out into the universe after he dissed Bradley Cooper at an award ceremony. Take a listen to the story.
I'm friends with Bradley Cooper. He's your prime Eagles fan.
That's right.
And I'm not saying that I have the power to affect a game in any way. I don't adhere to that kind of hubris. But I did say last year, after the Eagles went out, Chiefs were on their way to another victory.
Yep.
And he was getting an award for The Maestro, still probably one of the best movies of this decade. And I was giving him this award. And he's been nominated like 18 times for Oscars. And I closed with, listen, he's been nominated the 1900th time. You know, if he doesn't get it, it's okay. He's used to it. He's a Philadelphia Eagles fan.
That laid the groundwork right there.
I think he was happy this year.
No doubt.
Oh, you already know. We didn't talk for 2 months.
That was such a pandering celebrity guffaw by those guys. Who were the hosts of that? Who was doing that?
It's the Kelceys.
Oh, that's the Kelceys?
Yeah.
Come on, man. That was overdone.
I left that in there strictly because of the conversation that we had a month or two ago about giving it the gratuity laugh.
You mean to tell me that Kelceys can get Brad Pitt?
Kelceys get whoever they want at this point.
Are you kidding me? Brad Pitt goes on their podcast?
Yeah. That's the world we're living in, Mike.
Ha ha!
So I have an offer for you.
What?
For any gratuity laugh you want going forward, we can cut that laugh.
Oh, my God. That's a classic.
And that could be our laugh track going forward for this show.
First of all, wasn't that funny? Right? Like, it wasn't that funny.
No, it wasn't.
It's such a pandering. Well, it's Brad Pitt. Ha ha! All right, what's next?
All right, next up, LeBron James in Cleveland over the 4th of July holiday, going home. He posted from being at home. Brian Windhorst on with ESPN Cleveland to break down a little bit of what it meant and the stare down between the Lakers and LeBron right now.
LeBron absolutely knows that he will cause a wave with these social media things. So on one hand, he is just coming home for the holiday. He is just doing something that he has done numerous times in the past. On the other hand, by doing what he's doing, he is absolutely poking the bear and, being passive aggressive. And by the way, the Lakers are being passive aggressive back at LeBron. All right. They did not announce his option pickup. So they're both acting in the same way. Now, how is this going to get resolved? And my answer to you, in full honesty, is I don't know. He elected to opt into that contract to make $53 million. When he did that, he limited his options way down, and he limited the Lakers' options way down. So if he truly badly didn't want to be a Laker, he doesn't pick up that option.
Did Windhorst and LeBron have a breakup? They no longer, Windhorst, made his whole career based on LeBron's high school career.
Yeah, but LeBron going on Pat McAfee and dissing him. What, 2 months ago?
LeBron dissed Windhorst?
Yeah, pretty sure we had this in the news and news a couple months ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's my bad. When I have a Bill Colarulo moment.
Yeah, I think he went on McAfee and basically said that Windhorst's behavior is weird.
It's weird?
Yeah, because I guess he thinks that Windhorst claims that he knows him better than he does or whatever.
Yeah.
So I guess there has been a breakup there.
I guess. All right.
But
Wendy shot back at him a little bit.
Kind of getting sick of the LeBron offseason drama thing.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he deserves it. You think he's the greatest player ever, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, then if you're the greatest player ever, it's like Brady. The drama is.
And I got sick of that too.
Well, it's a regular point of the GOATs of all time.
Yeah, just listen. You can make your decision. He already had the decision. The decision already happened once for him. We don't need this every offseason. You want to be somewhere, be somewhere. You don't want to be somewhere, don't be there.
LeBron doesn't bother me in the least. I just go, it's LeBron. He's larger than life.
Speaking to LeBron had Kevin Durant on his new podcast because he needed a new podcast because his old podcast host is a little busy being his head coach now.
Okay.
And his new podcast, he had KD on, gave him his flowers, called him the best pure scorer in NBA history. Paul Pierce heard this, and all Paul Pierce heard was, how can I get myself in this conversation?
I was probably the best pure scorer ever in the history of the game. Because I was pretty equipped. When I think about it, I'm just saying, like,
what?
Could you pull up from the elbow? I need to be in this conversation.
Could you pull up from the elbow?
I got all that.
Could you knock down the three?
All that.
Could you back him down?
3-point contest champ.
Could you turn around?
All of that. Post up.
Could you dunk?
All of that. I was shooting. I must have been one of the most equipped. Oh, you want game winners? Wop, wop, wop. Here we go. Like, I'm trying to figure out
what was your efficiency?
Yeah, like, I think, when he's talking about his efficiency, because I shot more bad shots than Kevin.
Yeah, you was just hot dogging. You wasn't as clean.
No, I shot more bad shots. But Kevin, because he's 7 feet, he can get his shot off on anybody. He don't really see defense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why he's so efficient. There's nobody at his height on the perimeter. And the way he shoot the ball and gets it all, he efficient with it. So I can see why LeBron would say that. But, sure, you got to put me in that talk when we talk about most equipped scorers now. Come on, Bron.
Paul Pierce, who has made his entire post-playing career legacy trashing on LeBron, expects LeBron to put him in the conversation to be the best pure scorer in NBA history.
Paul Pierce loves himself some Paul Pierce.
Oh, he does.
Man, he really does love himself.
He really does.
Yeah. All right, well, whatever. Paul, guess what? You're not the greatest pure scorer in NBA history. And you're a good player. Don't get me wrong. But you're not the greatest pure scorer. So, there you go. That's the news at noon today. Ha ha ha! Mike Missanelli Show. General Knowledge Wednesday, 610-632-0975. You're going to play along. Back after this.
Kincade and Salciunas.
Show 97.5 The Fanatic on General Knowledge Wednesday. Again, the prize today for General Knowledge Wednesday, pretty good one. 4-pack of tickets to Adventure Aquarium. That's very cool out there in Camden. The Kaleidoscope Cove is the all-new world of colors now open at Adventure Aquarium. Be mesmerized by flashlight fish. You know what flashlight fish are?
The ones that light up in the dark?
I think.
Yeah. Are you asking me as if you know or you don't?
I don't know. Do they fish shine a flashlight on? Do they swallow a flashlight?
I'm pretty sure it's the one that's got the little thing on the top of the head. You know, it's got it looks like it's wearing a flashlight. No, never mind.
All right, what is it?
It looks like it's got it's like a glow under the eye.
A glow under the eye, the flashlight.
You know what we have to do? Go to Adventure Aquarium and find out.
We should, and it's also a glowing jellyfish exhibit.
Ooh, I'm in on that.
In the glowing grotto. That's probably the very picturesque.
I haven't been to Adventure Aquarium in what's 2025?
Yeah,
probably 7 years.
You have been there before that?
Oh, we had
Little Ray used to go there.
Little Ray did a field trip. I honestly thought I thought today's content, if he was pretty topical and good, he could have done something on Adventure
Little
Aquarium.
Ray going to the aquarium.
Yeah.
Anyway, plan your visit at adventureaquarium.com. 4-pack of tickets is the prize today. The audience is tied with Ray today as well. Also, the 12 o'clock hour is brought to you by Service First HVAC, offering 0% financing for 48 months. Rebates and tax credits up to $4,300 when purchasing a heating and cooling system. Learn more at servicefirsthvac.com. So we're lamenting two things about yesterday's Phillies loss, last night's Phillies loss, when got over way late. The bullpen mismanagement and the quirky home run that I suggested may have been prevented, at least to a triple, held to a triple, if maybe the left fielder was a little more astute, but apparently he wasn't. And since I brought that up, a lot of people are agreeing with me that maybe Max Kepler was kind of not in left field, as they say. You know what I'm saying?
That he was ready for this game to be over.
You're way out in left field. He was actually not way out in left field.
Sorry, I didn't get the laugh ready for you.
Yeah, that's all right. Sometimes it's too quick, but that's okay. But in any event, last night, the manager said he used Strom in the 7th after using Banks and Lazar for 1 inning after Walker went 4 innings. He doesn't have Kerkering available, so he uses and burns Strom in the 7th, and here's why he said he did it.
We got kind of caught back in a corner because we didn't have Kerkering. And so Strom pitched the 7th against all those lefties. And it was wanted to use Romano in the 9th just because of the intensity of the whole situation. And it was between Ross and Johnson and Robert for the 8th. And we liked Robert's slider on that group of hitters. And I think it was fine until the pitch clock violation. I think that may have sped him up a little bit. So once he got through his 3 hitters, I felt like it was time to get rid of that inning. And Romano came in and did a great job. 5 pitches, felt like he was strong, felt like he could probably finish it out.
Yeah, well, it didn't work out quite that way, and I guys take exception to what he said. We use Strom because of all those lefties. Well, you're only going to face, if you bring in Strom, there's only one lefty. So you liked your chances against a right-handed pinch hitter with Strom? I don't know. I mean, you got to understand that there's not going to be lefties that Strom is going to face. There's only maybe one lefty, and it's Lee in that situation. No, in any event. Let me move on to the Sixers because we also need to talk Eagles as well because training camp is only 2 weeks away. But the Sixers over/under win total was posted today, right? Do you know what the total is?
I heard them talking about it this morning.
Okay, you heard them talking about it, so
yes.
You know that it's 43.5.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does that seem low to you or high?
From this city's perspective, it's high. From the national perspective, low.
There are a lot of people in this city that have been conned into thinking the Sixers could make a run. I always look at Vegas, whether they think the Sixers can make a run. Vegas at 43.5 is telling me the Sixers aren't in the ballpark. Am I wrong?
So looking at the full Eastern Conference win totals here.
What do you got?
That's right. The odds, I don't. This is from Yahoo Sports, so whatever they got. Oh, okay. Of course, they don't actually have them listed. They just have a title with this. I hate SEO practices.
43.5 is basically a game and a half over 500.
So, 43.5 would be the over-under for the Celtics, who are without Tatum and decided to trade half their starting lineup. It's higher than the Pacers, 39.5. It's higher than the Heat, 36.5. Higher than the Raptors, the Bulls.
What are the Knicks in
Hornets.
Cleveland and Orlando?
The Knicks, Cleveland, and Orlando. You got to scroll all the way up here. Knicks are 52.5. Cleveland, 55.5. The Magic are 51.5. And what was the fourth one you had for me?
That's all.
That's okay. Because then the Hawks are 46.5. The Bucks are 45.5. The Pistons are 45.5.
They're all ahead of the Sixers.
So the Sixers are 7th, 8th in the East with that?
They're 7th. Or think about this now. People say it's a wide open East. Vegas has them down at the 7-8 level.
Playing territory.
Are you learning anything about this? Are we learning anything about the Sixers and this pie in the sky dream that they're going to be a contender in the wide open East?
A playing team. That's what Vegas is telling you.
Basically saying they're a playing team.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you were Vegas, why would you make it any higher?
I need to talk to somebody who went to Bill Colarulo school, who thinks that there's a genie in a bottle that's going to pop out and award the Sixers contender status. I need it because the smartest people who do this, and I heard him talking about it on the morning show, they rarely are more than 2 games wrong with their prediction in Vegas.
So, do you want me to give you Bill's line back to that?
Yeah, what is it?
Well, they were certainly wrong about the Sixers last year now, weren't they?
You doing Bill now?
Yeah. I'm picking up a few dollars on the side. I'm doing Bill impressions.
Okay.
I'm like Conklin, but for guys that host 2 to 6 here.
All right. I'm just saying. I just wanted to throw it out there for the people that go, well, no, Mike, I think they're, everything's going to be, they got a young core and their health going to be healthier and they're going to be this and they're going to be that. 43.5. 7th or 8th in the Eastern Conference. 610-632-0975. Jackson from Phoenixville is going to be our next caller. Time for you to join the party on General Knowledge Wednesday at 610-632-0975. We're back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
An inside the park walk-off home run. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update, and it's brought to you by Bradford White Water Heaters. When you need a new water heater, choose one that is built to be the best. Choose Bradford White. The Phillies ended up on the unfortunate side of history as the Giants walked it off with an inside the park 3-run home run from Patrick Bailey. It was the first walk-off inside the park home run since 2016, and the first time a catcher has done it since 1926. Jordan Romano was tagged with the blown save in the loss as he failed to complete a 5-out save. Rob Thompson spoke postgame about the decision to lift Daniel Robert in the 8th and allow Romano to return for the 9th.
Once he got through his 3 hitters, I felt like it was time to get rid of that inning. And Romano came in and did a great job. 5 pitches, felt like he was strong, felt like he could probably finish it out.
But he was unable to finish it out. Now the Phillies are trying to avoid being swept by the Giants today at 3:45 as Jesus Luzardo gets the start against Justin Verlander for San Francisco. The Hall of Famer Jason Stark joined us earlier on in the show to break down everything going on with the Phillies. Catch that conversation one more time on our website, 975thefanatic.com. Summer Sixers snuck past the Grizzlies 91-90 last night behind 26 points from Judah Mintz. They were once again without 3rd overall pick VJ Edgecombe, who sat out with a thumb contusion. And the Union hosts New York Red Bulls at 7 o'clock tonight down at Subaru Park in the U.S. Open Cup quarterfinals. This update's also brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. The Mercedes-Benz Dream Days are back with offers on vehicles like 2025 E-Class, CLE Coupe, C-Class, and EQE Sedan. Hurry now through July 31st. Learn more at mbusa.com/dream. I'm Ray Dunn on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
12:26. Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic. A lot of people on hold. A lot of people chiming in. 610-632-0975. Before we get to the calls, let's take in a text, Ray. Any new texts coming in?
Yeah, we got Norm from Mayfair here. Come on, Topper. You don't put flimsy Romano back out in the ninth. Kepler had to think the game was over at that point.
Yeah, but that's not an excuse for Kepler. Because Romano came out for a second inning. What else you got?
We got Mike in Collegeville here. I know it sounds crazy for a first-place team, but if Bryce Harper needs surgery on his wrist, I want it done now so we don't compromise next year. I think we all agree this team cannot win the World Series this year without Bryce. Therefore, I want to become a seller at the deadline, move on from Ranger and Schwarber because their chance they're not even back if the Phillies want them. I think you get good prospect haul for those guys. It gives you the ability to bring up Crawford, Miller, Painter, and able to see what you have for the rest of the year. And next year, I would be aggressive in the outfield and designated hitter free agent
We're giving
market.
up. Giving up on the year. Phillies are in the third seed right now. We're going to just give up?
Mike and College.
They could win the division. They're tied with the Mets right now. Come on now. Come on, Mike. First of all, you got to resign Schwarber. It's a must. Second of all, the Harper thing, what's it going to matter? If he needs surgery, you get it done in October, he'll be fine. You don't do it now. All right, let's go back to the phones. We got Jackson in Phoenixville checking in. Jackson, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Jackson?
Mikey Miss.
How are you, buddy?
Great show, dude.
Thank you.
You know, when I saw that replay, which was like at 12:30, I just picked up my phone and watched it. I thought Marsh was the left fielder. I don't know where these guys play anymore, you know. So, I mean, he's chasing down the ball, dude. Like it looked comical. It looked like the Bad News Bears out there. I've been to that stadium so many times because I lived in Lake Tahoe and went to all the Phillies games, and that's Triple's alley, man. Sometimes it's inside the park, home run alley now.
Yeah, it's a very unique ballpark, and it's a quirky play that happened. It will never happen again. A 1 in a million shot, right? I just asked myself, though, as I watched the play, I go, where's the left fielder?
Yeah, totally. Now I see that. I thought Marsh was the left fielder. I mean, you just putting on your show today kind of like, I need to go rewatch it again. Because where was Kepler? Was he over there picking daisies like the right fielder did?
That's what I mean. Like, he's not in the frame, and I'm going, that's impossible for him not to be in the frame.
Dude, and I played ball. You know, the cutoff man is the shortstop.
Exactly.
You know?
So the more I think about it, and Jason kind of reaffirmed it, and the caller brought it up, he probably thought the ball was gone, and he was walking towards the infield.
Yeah,
and when it didn't, he posed as the cutoff man. It's like ridiculous. I still can't believe it.
Yeah, but look at picture yourself on that field. He's staring at a brick wall that the ball is going to bounce off of.
Exactly. I mean, you know, as an outfielder, you know the park. You go around the outfield. You're tutored about the quirks of the park and the stadium.
Yeah, there's so many excuses.
I hear you, man.
And then the Topper thing. I mean, by the sounds of it, you two could manage this team. You and Ray over here. It's better than Topper because
it was
he
flimsy.
was a bench coach with the Yankees.
Yeah.
And what did he get? 4 rings.
Listen, I think he's a good manager. He's like last night. His explanation did not suffice last night.
But I think, you know, Mike, and this is something for you to switch around. I think he's overthinking things and over-tinkering just to do whatever. You know what I mean? Like, just to
maybe.
make it.
I don't know. Listen, they're a good team. They're still in the running. It's not like, you know.
They're great.
Yeah, they're in first place, for crying out loud.
The pitching staff is phenomenal. What do you think about the Gavin McKenna?
Oh, you missed it.
Oh.
You missed it. When we talked about it a couple days ago. We were playing the Nittany Lion fight song. People are going to flock to the Pagula Arena this year.
Dude, I'm going to maybe rent a house up there and just live up there for 4 months.
Yes.
I already put my,
It's a tough ticket, bro. It's a tough ticket, that hockey ticket. Very tough ticket. I can't even get one. And there's a statue of me on campus, and I can't get a ticket. Unbelievable.
Well, if I see you up there, Mike, I'll buy you a beer.
All right, brother. You want to do a general knowledge question?
Sure.
All right, here we go. Starting lineup for the championship 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers. Give me 3 of the starters.
Ooh. LeBron James.
That's one.
LeBron James and LeBron James.
So you're out. You're out. Jackson, you're out. Ray.
Wow.
Give me 4 starters for the 2016 Cavaliers.
LeBron, Kyrie, Kevin Love, and J.R. Smith.
Oh, you slayed it. Ray. Who was the other one?
That's the one I'm trying to figure out in my head.
I'll give you a hint. Kardashians.
Oh, Kardashian. Oh, my gosh. Tristan Thompson?
Correct.
Oof.
Ray, you're up. It's 5.
Oh, that didn't count?
4. What?
That didn't count for me?
Yeah, I counted.
Oh, okay.
I gave it to you. It's 5-4.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right, let's go to, so we got T in Northeast Philly. What's up, T? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Good, man. How you feeling?
I'm all right, man. The last time I talked to you and Martinez was trying to figure out who Ish was. He was trolling you. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was. It was. Good to hear from you, bro.
Good to hear from you, too. I just wanted to call and say I just don't see where, everybody's talking about how good the pitching is. I understand that basically Zach Wheeler is the brightest spot of the whole season, it seems like. And I've been kind of down on the pitching lately. And
well, not down on the starting pitching. Are you down on the starters?
Well, I mean, I just don't see where everybody's saying that it's championship pitching. I mean, yeah, Zach is, but, I mean, I don't know. I'm just...
No, listen, they have really good starting pitching, probably better than most teams. But you need to get through the 9th inning. And like, the starting pitching is going to give you 7 at best, except for Wheeler. So you got to get the 8th, you got to get the 9th. Sometimes you got to get the 7th. And so the depth in their bullpen is not good enough, in my opinion.
It's not at all. It's not at all. And then Romano last night, I love him, but the look on his face when that ball went out the stadium kind of irked me. And before that, if you saw, he could have stopped it right there, but the batter almost hit him, and he ducked out the way. He should have just sacrificed his body a little, stopped that ball, and then the game.
Well, stop it with his what? His head?
His head or something. I mean, he's a pro. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, come on, man. Come on, T.
Yeah.
You can't take a fastball in the noggin.
I know, you're right. But just the look he had when that ball was going out of the stadium, I was like, ah.
Yeah, he does put his head down a lot in exasperation.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He does, Mike.
What did you want to say about the Sixers?
And the Sixers, I wanted to say, what's up with our rookie? I see he hasn't been playing. I was checking for him the other night, and I just
get this. They're load managing the kid already. It's unbelievable to me. He's got a thumb issue, but they're load managing him.
He's 18, right?
I know. It's absurd.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. All right, you want a general knowledge question?
Of course. I want to go to the aquarium, man.
Here's the general knowledge question. What toy company makes a robotics kit called Mindstorms?
Oh, no. I'm going to say Kenner.
No. Unfortunately, it's wrong. Right? You know it?
Not a clue in the world.
It is Lego.
Oh, wow.
Lego. All right, Ray. Here's yours. In what activity did Deep Blue beat Gary Kasparov in 1998?
In what activity?
In what activity did Deep Blue beat Gary Kasparov in 1998?
Bobbing for apples. I got no idea.
Gary Kasparov was a world chess master from Russia. Deep Blue was a computer that beat him.
Wow. Yeah, I had no idea.
610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
We want to hear from you, so text us at
Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic, 610-622-0975. It's General Knowledge Wednesday. Beat Ray. Qualify for a nice prize. Prize that gives you 4-pack of tickets to the Adventure Aquarium in Camden. Very interesting. There was an interesting story today in the Inquirer on hip-hop, the former mascot, who, this is really an interesting thing. Hip-hop was a reflection of the excitement level they tried to build with the game experience. And because they had Allen Iverson, who was very influential in the hip-hop world, they went with a bunny, a very energetic bunny. Then they called him hip-hop. And he did all kinds of gymnastic stunts because he was a gymnast. He was a gymnast from Temple.
That's right.
His name was Bill Roth. I knew him very well. Good guy, very good guy. Nice guy. And I wondered, like, the transition. Franklin's not bad. I like Franklin. Now, the disaster was Big Shot back in the day. But hip-hop, I have to ask this question. Would hip-hop have worked today? Had they just kept hip-hop, would it have had the same effect or a better effect than Franklin the Dog? Ray?
Oh, 1,000%.
He would have been better than Franklin the Dog.
Yes.
So they should have kept hip-hop.
Pro hip-hop. Decisive.
It was a creation of Pat Croce, who had these wild ideas at the in-game experience to beef that up. And Bill Roth did a lot of dunking and gymnastic exercises off trampolines and all that stuff. All Franklin tries to do is do that flip half-court shot, which he fails miserably at.
Terribly. Horribly. Yeah, I want the muscled-up bunny. Forget the dog.
The muscled-up bunny, I wonder how many people would have now, today, 2025, still prefer hip-hop over Franklin the Dog.
No dog in the team.
The dog is cuter for the kids. Let's face it. Hip-hop is kind of aggressive.
Sorry, kids. You're going to learn today about a muscled-up bunny that's going to dunk the basketball. You want to know the terrifying truth, or do you want to see this man slam down a few dunks?
It was a really good feature story in the Inquirer on hip-hop and Bill Roth, who now runs a gymnastics academy in Glen Olden, I believe, somewhere down there.
Yeah, I think it's a Chichester, was it?
Chichester?
Somewhere,
yeah, Chichester, Glen Olden. It's the same area. Delco. Deep Delco.
Deep Delco.
Yeah. All right, 610-632-0975. Let's go to Michael in Virginia checking in. Michael, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Mikey Miss.
What's up, Mike? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
I just want to talk about if you were going to be bringing up Justin Crawford or who you think we might be bringing up this year.
Well, I don't know what they're going to do with this situation. They've got two center fielders. What would they do with those two guys if they brought up Justin Crawford? Where would Marsh go? What would they do with Kepler? Would they release him? Would they try to trade him?
Bat, though. I don't really care about center defense. I care about a bat right now.
Well, he's a pretty good defensive player too. I would have brought him up when they had all those struggles in both outfield positions. I would have brought him up. Now, would I have released Kepler? I probably would have. I probably would have had to bite the $10 million and DFA'd him, and then had Marsh platoon. But then what do you do with Rojas? You keep him on your team as a defensive replacement? Like, what would be the point of Rojas? I don't know what they're going to do. I do believe they need an interjection of energy. Conversely, they're still in first place. So it's not desperate anymore.
I think Crawford's going to be really good, and they need to bring him up as soon as possible. Aiden Miller's not having a great season, right? He's hitting like 220 or something in the double A, right?
Yeah, it's going to take a while for him to come in. They might be willing to trade him. I was reading a couple of trade possibilities. We'll go over those in a second from Jim Bowden, who was a former general manager, on what it would take to get certain players. I would have brought up Justin Crawford a few weeks ago, to be honest with you, when they were really struggling.
I'd bring him up as soon as possible.
Yeah, I hear you, man. All right.
They should wait on Painter a little bit. We don't need a starting pitcher right now.
No, you're right. And Painter is not like he's not going to get a promotion unless he's pitching well, and he's been kind of up and down, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he's gonna be filthy too, though. Him and Crawford.
Well, hopefully they are. Hopefully they're going to be filthy. You know, who knows? Once these guys get up here, like Abel had the same kind of rap when they drafted him, and he looked good for a while, and now he's lost it again. So you never know until they get up here against major league hitters how they're going to do.
I think I missed his last start. Did he have a poor last few outings, Mick Abel?
Oh yes, he did. Yeah, you missed 3 poor ones, in fact.
Okay, because I remember he started out with the 8 strikeouts, which is crazy.
Yeah, no, he had command early, and then he lost his command. He's been horrible, and that's why they sent him out.
Gotcha.
All right, man. General knowledge question. We're in the category of Shakespeare. It's just a Shakespearean quote. So I'll give you this one here. This is from Macbeth. The quote is, "Out, damned blank."
Out, damned blank?
Yeah. What's the blank? Fill in the blank. Out, damned blank.
Eden?
No, sorry. Out, damned spot. Macbeth.
Obviously.
You ready for your Macbeth?
Of course.
The Merchant of Venice. All that blanks is not gold.
All that glistens?
You know, most people think it's glistens. I'm going to give you the point.
Woo!
But it's all that glisters.
Glisters.
Is not gold, which I don't believe is a word in today's English vocabulary.
All that.
Glistered. It was a Shakespearean word way back in the day. Glisters.
All that glisters.
And we've taken that to glistened.
I mean, I'm not going to fight it, actually. I don't know why I'm looking this up. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right about this. I appreciate the point. I'm going to shut up. Thank you. Love you, Billy Shakespeare.
It's 6-4, Ray, over the audience. Oh, no. And he even got a Shakespearean one.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough for the audience. You don't want to go in the 1 o'clock hour. I'm starting to get Shakespeare. That's 2 Shakespeares I've knocked down so far.
That's hard to believe. What was the other Shakespeare you knocked out?
What was the... Someone had it in here. Come on, what was...
The Ides of March?
No, it wasn't the Ides of March, because that was afterwards that I got that one right. What did I get right? There was another one that I got right, though, that was...
You got 2 Shakespeare right today?
2 Shakespeare right today.
That's hard to believe.
It is very hard to believe.
You have a commanding 2-point lead here. The audience has to come up big in the 1 o'clock hour. Or Ray Dunn, with a Shakespearean category, is going to walk away with a W today.
Oh, it was the ears. Ears I got right. It was the lend me your ears.
Lend me your ears.
Yeah. That's the 2 I've gotten.
That's from Julius Caesar.
Yeah, Mark Antony said.
That's correct. You learned that today, didn't you?
Uh-huh.
Who was Mark Antony messing with?
Who was he messing with?
Yeah. What female?
I got no idea.
That's Cleopatra, man.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. I think I did know that.
Yeah, Cleo.
Yeah. I just also know Brutus was the guy that got him.
Right.
L2, Brute.
Brutus got him second.
Oh, he got him second?
Yeah. Because also.
Oh, he turned to him for help, and then,
At 2, Brute, and so he got him. He got him as well.
Yeah. I know he got him, though.
You did.
Yeah.
Bastard. 610-632-0975. Back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
An inside the park walk-off home run. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. That's brought to you by Groundworks, your expert for basement waterproofing and foundation repair since 1997. Book your free inspection at groundworks.com. The Phillies ended up on the unfortunate side of history as the Giants walked it off with an inside the park 3-run home run from Patrick Bailey. It was the first walk-off inside the park home run since 2016, the first time a catcher has done that since 1926. Joe Romano was tagged with a blown save and the loss. He failed to complete a 5-out save. Rob Thompson spoke post-game about the decision to lift Daniel Robert in the 8th and allow Romano to return for the 9th.
Once he got through his 3 hitters, I felt like it was time to get rid of that inning. And Romano came in and did a great job. 5 pitches, felt like he was strong, felt like he could probably finish it out.
And that he could not, and that's why the Phillies now are trying to avoid being swept by the Giants at 3:45. Jesus Luzardo gets the start against Justin Verlander for San Francisco. We spoke to the Hall of Famer Jason Stark earlier on in the show about everything going on with the Phillies. Catch that conversation one more time on our website, 975thefanatic.com. Summer Sixers snuck past the Grizzlies 91-90 last night behind 26 points from Judah Mintz. They were once again without third overall pick VJ Edgecombe, who sat out with a thumb contusion. The Union hosts New York Red Bulls at 7 tonight down at Subaru Park in the U.S. Open Cup quarterfinals. This update is brought to you by the International Hot Rod Association. Nitro's back. The IHRA Outlaw Nitro Series is lighting up the track. Nitro Nation. Grab your tickets now at IHRA.com. That's IHRA.com. I'm Ray Dunn for 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Well, 54 on the Mike Missanelli Show. A couple of open lines right now. We've been pretty busy today with General Knowledge Wednesday. 610-632-0975. I got to be honest with you, but it's the Sixers in the summer league. I find that there is absolutely no reason for me to watch if VJ Edgecombe is not playing. Do you feel the same way?
And Judah Mintz is the third star. I watched that last night, a little and one late in the game.
Oh, you did watch
Ice that bad boy.
Yeah, they won by a point last night. And I got the box score right here. Your boy Justin Edwards with 15 last night. Janai Broom, however, 8 points. He had 12 boards, but he was 3 for 11 from the floor and 0 for 5 from three-point range.
I'm struggling to see the role for him.
But Judah Mintz. Have a Judah Mintz, the Delaware Blue Coat star out of Syracuse U.
They should buy out Paul George and give all his minutes to Judah Mintz.
Judah Mintz. Come on, man. What are you doing to me here? Seriously, you got to help the fans out. Like, we want to tune in to see the kid, right? Thumb contusion. You're going to load manage him already. Tape it up. Contusion.
Nah, no. The way Summer League has gone for this franchise, I'm
man.
not.
I want to see the kid play. What else is there to do if you're a Sixer fan? What hope? It's like, let me see this kid play. Let me see the excitement of this kid. Throw your fan base a bone.
I got everything I need Saturday. VJ, Ace. Now I'm done. I'm good.
Speaking of Ace, there was an Ace that played last night for. You know that, right?
An Ace.
There was an Ace that played for Memphis last night.
Yes.
I can't believe that you don't know this.
No.
He's a Penn State star.
Oh, well, that's why.
Ace Baldwin. Plus, on the others, they were playing for the Sixers. Another Penn State star. Andrew Funk.
Yes, Funk.
The kid from Archbishop Wood.
Yes, because he was a Bucknell before.
And he went to Penn State.
Yeah, I was going to say. I know him from his previous work. The whole Penn State thing that doesn't.
Nittany Lions dressed in uniform last night. I know people get sick and tired. We don't want to hear him anymore about Penn State.
No,
who cares about Penn State?
People love hearing about
Penn State basketball.
People love it.
Be there. Live it. Live the dream.
Yeah, Bucknell, yeah. How many points at Bucknell?
Andrew Funk can fire. Andrew Funk's a long-range shooter.
Yeah, he was a Wood guy. That's what it was.
Andrew
I was going to
Funk's got
say
to get a little tougher. He could be J.J. Redick. No, he's got that kind of snipes.
He can shoot.
Yeah, he can fire.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I remember I watched him at Wood.
Yeah, he can snipe it. You watched him at Wood?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think we're the same graduating year. He's, doing summer league, and I'm producing,
Wait, you actually saw him in high school?
Yeah, I covered high school basketball while I was in high school.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I'm sure. I don't know if that's the case. I might have done a story where he was around. But he was, I know, as a Wood guy and as Bucknellman.
Yeah, he's a Bucknellsman.
Yeah, then he ended up at Penn State, and now he's out there.
Trying to make it in the league. Getting no PT, though. Coach's decision last night for Funky. But Judah Mintz, 9 for 15, 8 for 9 at the line, got fouled a lot. Plus 11 for Judah.
Hey, man, I'm telling you.
26 markers.
How many times did George hit 26 points last year?
I don't know. Did he ever? Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he had to. Right?
Yeah.
He says.
Yeah. We're coming up on the top of the hour as the Mike Missanelli Show. It is General Knowledge Wednesday. Again, we're playing for 4 tickets to the Aquarium and some really good new features there. So we'd love to hear from you to take on Ray. The audience is 2 behind Ray as we speak right now. So the next category will be the starting lineups. So that's Ray's go-to.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good right now.
Need a big 1 o'clock hour from
audience does.
From Ray.
By the way, 5 games. 5 games above 26. 6 games if you want to include the game he had 26.
Paul George?
Yeah, last season.
Okay.
So just for those fact-checking at home.
All right. Earlier this week we did, was it? Oh, no, it was like a week ago. We did an all-century, a quarter-century team for the, was the Eagles?
The Eagles won. We went over the Kemsky one,
Eagles.
yeah.
And then we did the non-play team.
Which was fun.
So in the 1 o'clock hour, I'm going to introduce the Sixers all quarter-decade team. And I think we have some interesting choices. Anyway, you're listening to Mike Missanelli Show. It's 97.5 The Fanatic. It's WPEN HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group station, and we're broadcast live from the Comcast Business Studios, powering possibilities. All right. The all-quarter century 76ers team, since we're talking about the Sixers a little bit today. Iverson, obviously, is the golden lock. If you were going by position, who would be your point guard? Would it be Eric Snow? Or would it be Andre Miller in the all-quarter century decade team?
Oh, I'm going to try and make this as 6'2" for Miller. I'm trying to get the...
Andre Miller played here 3 years. Eric Snow played here longer than 3 years. But Andre Miller's statistics were better than Eric Snow's.
Running into a similar problem that we have right now, talking about that backcourt, how small it would be.
Well, it would be. But, you couldn't do anything about Iverson. He was really a 2. He wasn't a 1.
Right.
So that's like one of the rare times where you can get away with a 2 who was 6 foot. Because he was amazing. So, again, I ask you, if you're going by position and you need the point guard, are you taking Eric Snow or are you taking Andre Miller in the quarter decade?
I guess Miller?
I don't know. I'm asking. Who would people take? E. Snow couldn't score. E. Snow's average he was below 10, I believe.
Yeah, but he was all defensive at one point, right?
Very good defensive player and a perfect guy for that team. Andre Miller, a little more talent, scored a lot more. I think he averaged like 15, 16 with the Sixers and had the same assist total, I believe, last time I looked at the numbers.
Actually, if I know that the backcourt of Snow and Iverson could be a backcourt that got to a finals,
you're going to go with that?
I'll go with the known thing.
All right, so you're going to go E. Snow.
Let's go.
All-decade team. E. Snow, Iverson. Now, let's continue. Because if you want to stay with that team, Dikembe Mutombo had a very small quarter-century career for the Sixers. Would you go him? Would you go Theo Ratliff?
Talking about
or
the big
is
man?
there somebody else I'm missing? Yeah, we're talking about the 5 spot.
For the all-quarter century team.
Yes.
The 21st century.
From the 2000 to now.
Correct.
Am I missing somebody?
I know he's not in your good graces right now, but there is no way there's anyone on this team but Joel Embiid for the big man.
Oh, I forgot the current one. So I was looking back.
I was like,
I'm sorry.
I didn't know if you were doing an anti-Embiid bit. I was like,
no. I forgot the actual players on the current team.
It's like, I know we're down on them right now.
All right. So, yeah, all right.
Over the last 25.
I'm sorry. That's my bad. That's a horrible mistake I made. So it's Andre Miller, Iverson, and Embiid. Who's the backup to Kembe or Theo?
I know you were a big Theo guy, so if this is your team.
I'm a Theo man. I always liked Theo.
All right, for your
team.
Who
hated, we worked together, who hated Theo, and I loved him? Anthony. Anthony was an anti-Theo man. I could never figure out why.
What was he like the day following the trade?
When they got to Kembe?
When they got to Kembe.
I don't remember, but I remember not being enamored with it. I thought the Sixers should have stayed and waited for Theo. Because it messed up their depth. They were 500 at a lot of people don't remember they were 500 team with Dikembe Mutombo. And everybody, Dikembe, we hit Dikembe. He didn't do anything, really. What did he do? They were 500.
Wave the finger when he blocked someone. That was fun.
Listen, God rest his soul, but I think Dikembe was one of the most overrated Sixers.
Yeah, I mean, he got smoked in the finals, too.
All right, let's go to the forward spot. Andre Iguodala is a lock, right?
Yeah. I guess we're
now
defense here.
Who else would you go with as the 4? If Iguodala is your 3, who is your 4? Would you go with Jimmy Butler even though he was brief here?
As the 4, that's tough.
Yeah.
Because you're going
If you
decently
just see
small. this
another
team.
forward, where would you go? What would you? Here's a name. Would you go Elton Brand as your 4? No?
You could. I'm looking. This team right now is pretty devoid of shooting.
Well, it is, and it's why you got to get it off the guys off the bench, which I have a bench as well.
Okay. So who are you putting as your 4?
I look at Elton Brand's numbers.
No, it's nothing against Elton Brand, the player.
I think Elton Brand's got to get to not. Or how about this one? Thad Young.
Let's go Elton Brand.
You go Elton Brand over Thad Young?
Yeah, I'll go Elton Brand over Thad Young.
All right, my backup guards, Aaron McKee.
I like that call.
J.J. Redick.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
No Corver love?
I went J.J. over KK.
Yeah, J.J. playing off Embiid was something special. So I'm good with that.
You're good with that?
I'm good with that.
All right, so there you go. Anybody else you want to chime in, we can do that as well. 610-632-0975.
The one thing I considered here.
What's that?
Well, we were talking about the point guard.
Uh-huh.
Because it does become a small backcourt.
Yeah.
And this doesn't help the shooting problem at all with this team.
Right.
But Prime Simmons.
No, I can't. I just can't do it.
I know. The end is terrible.
I cannot do it. So he would be your point guard?
If you want a guy...
Prime Simmons would be your point guard.
That his entire job is just to give the ball up to players good defense.
Good conscience do it. I can't. I hate this man. I loathe the man.
I loathe the man too. Just saying. Also, another guard here that's going to end up being a Hall of Famer that was here during this time. Does Harden crack this team?
Jimmy Harden. Guess he does. I guess you got to go Jimmy.
They also had Lou Will. You got the sixth man of the quarter century.
Lou Will's right. You had Lou Will coming off the bench.
Yeah, he can't be my starting lineup. He's got to be my sixth man, but...
All right, so we decided on the starting lineup of Snow, Iverson, Embiid, Elton Brand, and Iguodala for your all quarter century team.
Man,
not bad.
Yeah, I would honestly, and part of the justification of putting Simmons on this team for me would be it opens up, maybe you could put another guard instead of Brand because you get to be a little bit smaller in terms of...
Yeah.
Like, instead of you subs Brand out of that.
Well, what other guard are you putting in there? McKee?
Nah, I'm not putting McKee.
He's got to come off the bench. Yeah, he's got to come off the bench. Tyrone Hill. T. Hill.
It's tough because, the years of the process there, you just kind of wipe all those guys away. So you're either going really early quarter century or you're going within the last 7 years.
It's fun. It's a fun topic.
Oh, it's a very fun topic.
Classic beer. Beer room topic. 610 beer room.
Beer room.
Bar room.
I like a beer room.
Where you're having beer. 610-632-0975. Nick's been hanging on. We'll get to Nick after this.
Do you feel unfulfilled? Do your afternoons feel like
Not. It's 11 after 1. It's 1:11. What I meant to say is the Mike Missanelli Show, and here's how you get in at 610-632-0975. Now, our next caller is going to raise a very interesting topic that I haven't thought about, and it involves the Phillies, and it involves trading a very established player as the Phillies try to win something this year. So let's get right to it. Let's go to Nick in Briarcliff. Nick, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Nicky?
Good afternoon, Mike. Good afternoon, Ray.
How are you, bud?
I'm doing good. I feel good about the Phillies, and we obviously do know they have to add, two bullpen arms and probably get the bat that we've been talking about all season. Now, the thing is, and as much as I hate to say it, rather, Ranger Suarez will have to be traded, or you would have to put him in the bullpen. And the reason why I say it is just because his durability. Now, I think Ranger's great. I mean, he's lights out, but he'd be a great he'd probably be better. Like, the best left-handed arm you could get out there is already in your own system if you were to stick him in the bullpen.
I don't agree.
You don't agree?
I don't agree. He's throwing 89 miles an hour right now. That's not a bullpen guy that gets a swing and miss. He's better as a starter.
You want that big power arm.
Well, he's better as a starter. You don't get you can't bring a guy in who can't get swings and misses in late inning situations. You need power arms to get swings and misses. And he is not a power arm. Now, I know he's done it before in the bullpen, but he's not a guy that I would put in. I would put a guy, like if I had to put somebody, I would put Sanchez or I'd put Luzardo before I would get the Ranger.
Well, that's how I was going to pivot. I'd say the other option would be Luzardo. Now, even if you said that, if you stick Luzardo in the bullpen, I think you would have to trade Ranger because there's no way you're going to re-sign Ranger.
This is where you get very interesting because I haven't really considered this. Would you? Because here's the thing about the National League. It's pretty wide open. Now, everybody says the Dodgers are the best, but they're not the healthiest. If they're healthy, they're the best. But everybody is pretty much in kind of the same boat here. So one of those contenders, we're talking about the Cubs, we're talking about the Brewers, we're talking about the Padres, these kind of teams that could really use a starting pitcher to get him over the hump, would make a deal for Ranger Suarez. So it's not a bad thought.
But then, would you really want to face Ranger in the playoffs?
I mean, I wouldn't worry about that part of it. I would worry about whether I could sign him. You heard Jason Stark on earlier. It's going to cost them $25 million a year with Scott Boras asking for Aaron Nola money, and he should ask for Aaron Nola money. The second thing is I don't have to get rid of my prospects. I may have to throw in one prospect with Ranger, and I get a significant return on that.
I agree. And Jason brought up a great point too. Apparently, the Phillies, it was a pre-thought for the Phillies, or else you wouldn't have went out and got Luzardo. You have Painter coming up eventually, so they kind of knew, I think, going the season that. And I also think they knew when they gave Sanchez the contract, because at that point, I would think Ranger was more deserving than Sanchez, even though Sanchez has truly lived up to it.
Well, they got Sanchez really cheap. I mean, you think about the contract that they got; it was really a smart move. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you raised an interesting point about trading Ranger. If you don't think you can sign him, why would you not trade him, even if the team has to rent him? There is a team that would want to rent him to give them stability in their starting pitching where they might be weak. And, again, there's like 5 teams that might be in play for that.
Oh, I agree. Even in the American League, there's teams that would be vying for a left-hander.
A brilliant call by you, Nick.
Well, thank you, Mike.
All right. Now, Nick, it's General Knowledge Wednesday time, and the audience needs a notch here because Ray's up by 2. This is NBA champion starting lineups. So let's go to the first LeBron Heat championship team, 2012. Give me 3 starters. No, give me 4 starters on that 2012 Heat team because you already know the big 3.
I was going to say, with the big 3, we got Bosh, LeBron, Wade, and a starter. Ooh, that's going to be a tough one.
Ray's got it. Ray's all over it, but I'm not going to give it to him because he's all over it. One is a point guard. The other is a forward.
One is a point guard.
The other would be considered maybe a 3.
I'm out, Mike. I don't know that one.
Oh, sorry, brother. Sorry, Sorry about that, Nick. You got that, right?
In the fourth quarter of a Miami Heat basketball game, Mario Chalmers should be nowhere near the basketball.
Mario
SNL.
Chalmers is correct.
Doing Stephen A. Smith back in the day.
And where did he go to college?
Kansas.
That's correct. And who was the other starter?
The other starter for that team.
I'll give you a hint. Wrinklehead. He had a wrinkled head.
I don't know.
He had a wrinkled scalp.
I don't know.
Come on. Duke.
The only guy I can have back on the Heat from those teams was Battier that was on that team.
That's correct.
Oh, Battier was a starter?
Wrinklehead Shane Battier.
Wow.
You remember the wrinkled head?
No. I do not.
He had a wrinkled scalp. I couldn't stop looking at it.
Much like Kepler and Left Mike, sometimes you recognize things that I do not.
So what was that movie where Fred, what's his name? Fred Savage. He kept saying mole, like a big mole on his head. What's that movie? Was it Austin Powers?
I think it's Austin Powers.
It was Austin Powers. Oh my God! All right, Ray. Time for yours. 2011, the Dallas Mavericks.
All right.
Give me 3 starters.
Kid, Barea, and Dirk.
Oh, give me 4 starters.
Oh, you're killing me with a fourth.
Give me 4 starters. Come
Kid,
on, you should be
Barea,
able to
Dirk.
get this. 4 starters, not 3. That's too easy for 3. Kid, Barea, and Dirk. Give me the 4th. Give me one more.
Yeah.
Center and a shooting forward.
I got nothing.
Went to UNLV. Center came right out of high school.
Center came right out of high school. Yeah, I don't know.
Tyson Chandler.
Tyson Chandler. Yeah.
Sean Marion.
He signs with the Knicks. What, that following?
Tyson Chandler?
Yeah. Was it the next one or the one after? Soon he goes to the Bell Knicks, right?
Yes. Who was the other? They both came out as high school centers. The Bulls got them both, I think. They got Chandler and they got this other one. Eddie Curry.
Wow. Yeah.
Got that pull.
That's a strong pull by you.
610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
An inside the park walk-off home run. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies ended up on the unfortunate side of history as the Giants walked it off with an inside the park 3-run home run from Patrick Bailey. It was the first walk-off inside the park home run since 2016. The first time a catcher's done that since 1926. Jordan Romano was tagged with the blown save and the loss to fail to complete a 5-out save. Rob Thompson spoke post-game about the decision to lift Daniel Robert in the 8th and to allow Romano to return for the 9th.
Once he got through his 3 hitters, I felt like it was time to get rid of that inning. And Romano came in and did a great job. 5 pitches, felt like he was strong, felt like he could probably finish it out.
But he did not. The Phillies will attempt to avoid being swept by the Giants at 3:45 this afternoon. Jesus Luzardo gets the start against Justin Verlander for San Francisco. The Hall of Famer Jason Stark joined us earlier in the show to talk about everything going on with the Phillies. Catch that conversation on our website one more time, 975thefanatic.com. The Summer Sixers snuck past the Grizzlies 91-90 last night behind 26 points from Judah Mintz. They were once again without third overall pick VJ Edgecombe as he is day-to-day with a thumb contusion. And the Union hosts New York Red Bulls at 7 tonight down at Subaru Park in the U.S. Open Cup quarterfinals. This update's brought to you by Indeed.com. You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit. I'm Ray Dunn, the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Phillies. A 3-run walk-off inside the park home run that went off the wall and carried past everybody. And they couldn't fetch it in time to get a guy to stay at third base. And I asked the question, where in the world was Max Kepler? We explored that today. We found out that Max Kepler sort of is walking towards the infield. The theory is he thought the ball was gone, and he decided, well, the game's over, which is an egregious thing to do. I'm looking at the play. I'm going, he's not even in the frame. Where is he? I mean, you know that ball is in the air. You know it's to your left. You would think you would start your wheels going to the left as soon as the ball was hit, even if you have no chance to catch it. But you also know that wall is out there, and it hits it. It's going to carry him towards left field. What are you doing? Now, that didn't lose the game. What lost the game was managerial error, I think, in judgment with his bullpen. But it was a tough loss for the Phillies last night, man. Very tough. Let's get back to our text board today. Any fresh, new, good texts we have, Ray?
Brian in West Palm Beach, Florida, an inside the park walk-off homer. Are you kidding me? The entire Phillies outfield has been straight up garbage for 3 years now, defensively and the bats. This bullpen, it's a collection of the Savannah Bananas pretending to be pitchers. Kerkering is the only constant. And Topper looks like he hates his life because he's out there trying to win games with a lineup full of swing-happy, undisciplined hitters and relievers who can't hold it together. No wonder the bats disappear. They're in no man's land.
Let me look at the standings here, Ray. Excuse me while I take. What? They're what? They're in first place? Really? They're in first place. I get it. They could use a couple of things, but let's not paint the town doom. Come on. What else we got?
All right, we got Joe and Marlton chiming in on the Ranger-Suarez conversation. You can't trade Ranger and get what this team needs. Only a contender would trade for a rental, and a contender is not going to give you the pieces the Phils need because they are most likely contributing to the contending team's success.
It's a very good point. You may get a relief pitcher in there, though, that's pretty good, along with prospects, which ain't bad. I'm telling you, somebody right now would overpay for Ranger Suarez with prospects. You only got 3 in the whole system right now. So I would think that would be beneficial to the Phillies. So you grab a guy, relief pitcher, you've got enough depth in your starting. It's not a terrible idea to trade Ranger Suarez. Got to be honest with you.
Yeah, I hate it.
You hate it?
Yeah.
Why? Because he's really good?
Yeah, and he's worth more to you right now than he is to anyone else. Like, if I'm another team and they're trying to trade for Ranger Suarez, you're not going to get Boris's promise he's re-signing with you, so that's already taken a level of what I would invest in trading for him away.
All right, let me ask you this question. Do you have enough starting pitching without Ranger Suarez to get through the playoffs?
At this moment, I guess.
Do you have enough relief pitching to get through the playoffs right now?
No.
Okay. I think you answered the question. You have enough starting pitching. You don't have enough relief pitching. If Ranger Suarez can get you a couple prospects and a good relief pitcher, would you not do it?
Who's giving you a couple prospects and a relief pitcher?
Somebody would. Somebody who has depth in their bullpen, but not in their starting rotation.
Yeah, I think you get one of two in that case. I don't think you get both those things. Again, he's going to be a rental.
How about the Giants? The Giants have the best bullpen in the league right now, right?
Correct.
How about they give you a relief pitcher and prospects for Ranger Suarez?
Why would they do that?
Because they need Ranger Suarez.
Do they?
Anybody could use another starting pitch. What's the Giants' starting pitching? Where's it?
They got Ray.
Where's it rank?
They got Webb. I don't know. I don't have the ERA right off the dome here, but
they've got Ray and they got Webb. That's 2.
If you trade away Ranger right now,
you need 3, 4.
Yeah, if you trade away Ranger right now, what, you're guaranteed Nola's going to come back healthier? Luzardo's going to be consistent through the rest of the way?
Well,
we haven't seen a consistent Luzardo in a month.
You got to take a chance. That's what I'm saying. Dombrowski is in no position not to take a chance right now because we know what they need. All right, let's go back to the phones. We got Lance in Arizona checking in. Lance, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Lance?
So a couple of things. First, I actually think Luzardo, when they get to the playoffs, he's going to be the guy that goes into the bullpen because he has stuff.
Very, very possible.
To be back-end stuff. So, to me, that's how I think part of the thing gets solved when they get to that point. With Ranger, the problem is you don't know when Nola's coming back, and if he comes back, how is he going to be? And then Luzardo, over the last couple of weeks has kind of imploded at times and has been good at times. So you don't know what you're getting out of that, and then you're going to have to rely also on Taijuan Walker for a little bit. So like you're banking on 3 different things going your way, and I'm not so sure all 3 of those things are going to go your way.
Very reasonable call, Lance. Very reasonable. You made a lot of sense. I'm just musing. I'm just thinking aloud here. You're not going to be able to sign Ranger Suarez, in my opinion. So he's going to walk for nothing. I wouldn't want that to happen, to be honest with you. That would be painful if he walks for nothing.
I mean, I think they made their decision on that, though, as soon as they gave Sanchez the contract they gave him last year. Like that, I think that was already in their mind that one of those two was not going to be here.
Is that not painful for you to have a guy walk for nothing?
It is. I love Ranger Suarez, but like at some point in time, like I need him for the playoffs. Like I don't know what Nola's going to be. Jesus Luzardo has been all over the place for the last month and a half.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he's going to be. So like I'm going to need that third guy in the playoffs. It's like you have Wheeler and you have Sanchez, but the third guy, you have no clue what it is. You're going to get into a playoff series where that third game is going to be big, and you're going to need a big game pitcher. And the Ranger has shown, even when he wasn't good last year in that Mets game, he grinded through to keep him in the game until the bullpen imploded and the offense couldn't do anything.
I can't argue with anything you say, Lance. It's a pretty good call. You ready for your general knowledge question?
Yeah.
Here's the question. What video game character eats mostly pellets but occasionally fruit and pretzels?
Pac-Man?
That's correct. Very easy. Pac-Man is correct. Hold on here. We'll put you on hold. Lance makes the score 6-5, Ray. Close the gap with that one. Strategically, I gave him an easy question. Ray, here's your question. What female singer had the most #1 hits on the U.S. pop charts in the 1990s?
It's a decade after when I would have guessed Madonna. Cher. I got nothing.
Incorrect.
Who was it?
Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey is the correct answer.
Mariah Carey.
Let's go to Joe in Fox Chase. Joe, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Joe.
Mike.
What's happening?
I love you to death. I love you to death, Mike. But you got to listen.
But here it comes.
There is no way, Mike, we can trade or should trade Suarez. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Stop with this already.
We're going to trade Jesus, Mary, and Joseph before we trade Ranger?
Yes.
All right.
Mike, he's one of the best left-handed starting pitchers in the league.
Now hear me out here, Joe. Joe. Hold on. Now, have you seen his last 2 starts? Very successful, right? Where was his velocity?
Mike, does it
wait. No, Joe, hold on. Joe, last year, what happened to him? When his velocity dipped, what was the reason? He was kind of worn out. He had the back situation. Now you're getting 5 innings out of him these days.
Mike, that was the last outing, but before that, we got way more than that.
You got 6.
With 8-9 strikeouts.
You got 6.
Okay, that's more than 5. Mike, you cannot let this guy go, Mike. He's
going to go for nothing. He's going to go for nothing.
No, he's not, Mike. They're going to sign him.
They're not going to sign him. They're not signing him.
Yes, they are.
$25 million. You can't have 3 $25 million pitchers in your rotation.
Mike, before you cut me off, I one more thing about the NBA draft.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to tell you this. I want to go on record. We took Edgecombe, right?
Yeah.
The second guy from Duke that went right after Edgecombe begins with a K, I think his name.
Con Knipple.
Not Flag.
Con Knipple.
Yes,
yeah.
Knipple.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you right now, he's going to have a much more successful career in the NBA than Edgecombe.
Yeah, I will bet you everything you got on that.
Like he's a much smarter player.
What do you see in Colin Knippel that's so wonderful at an NBA level? He's going to be able to defend on an NBA level? Come on, Joe.
Smartest players.
Joe, he's a smart player playing with Duke in the college.
Oh, you know what? Go trade Suarez so I can stop hearing.
Well, you don't have to get mad at me. We're having a discussion here. Colin Knippel. What is this Colin Knippel hype? I don't get it.
And I'll bet you whatever you have, Mike, that they signed.
I got nothing. I don't have anything. I don't have as much as you.
Okay.
All right.
You'll see.
You want a general knowledge question? Hello? He hung up on me. He was mad.
Wow.
He got mad at me.
He did. No, I watched that happen in real time.
Colin Knippel, your sister. Get out of here. He's not athletic enough to be better than VJ Edgecombe in this league.
You know I'm high on that.
He's going to be a J.J. Redick type of player. Knippel. 610-632-0975. Kyle Korver type of player, maybe. Can't defend your mother. Mike Missanelli Show. We're coming down the home stretch. Ray has a 1-point lead in general knowledge.
The
Do this to me every day, Ray. 106-20975. Mike Missanelli Show. I got some breaking news here. Give me the breaking news. You got 3 breaking news things in front of me.
Now, breaking sports news from 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Right? What's going to happen in the All-Star game? What?
Automated balls and strikes, Mike.
Automated balls and strikes in the All-Star game. No home plate umpire.
Get the hell out of here.
Out damn spot, as Shakespeare would say.
They saw Phil Cousins' performance the other night. They said it's over.
Oh, hold a second.
No more of
Wait
them.
a minute. This is going to be very interesting because you got to play at the plate. Who calls it? Where there's got to be an umpire lurking somewhere,
There
right?
still will be the umpire there.
There will be an umpire there.
Yeah, it's just
But he
on.
won't be calling balls and strikes.
Correct. He'll give you the call of what it is. I think it is. I think that's how that'll
Oh,
go.
really?
I'm pretty sure.
Huh. Oh, this is going to be fascinating. This is another little twist to watch the All-Star game, isn't it?
It is. I think it's also trying to massage into, mainstream this automated balls and strikes.
I think it's a brilliant idea.
I can't wait.
How about that?
You know who's not an all-star this year? Phil Cousins. Stay away.
Oh, Phil, he was on the bases last night, wasn't
Yeah. I don't know what base he was, but I'm sure there was a missed call there.
he? Yeah. Phil Cousins.
Time to retire, buddy.
Named after a can of beer holder. Phil Cousins.
Cousins koozies?
Yeah. As a 76ers news. Oh, no. Right, please tell me this is not true, is it?
It's true. I know you're upset.
The Sixers waved who?
Alex Reese.
Sack of onions body. They waved. Alex Reese. He had the worst NBA body I've ever seen, short of George Niang. And they signed who?
They signed Dominic Barlow.
Who's that?
Exactly.
Give me the skinny on Dominic Barlow.
All right. Barlow is a Hackensack, New Jersey native.
Oh, wow.
Who most recently played for the Atlanta Hawks. He was a product of St. Joe's Prep.
He went to St. Joe's Prep, Dominic
Yes.
Barlow? He's a local kid?
That is correct.
And where did he go to college? I never heard of him.
Where he went to college.
My mistake.
Is they just have the high schools here for him.
He didn't play college ball?
Did he go? Oh, team overtime, of course. Overtime Elite's inaugural season. He went undrafted in 2022, signed with the Spurs, became the first person from Overtime Elite to make a roster, and then ended up after a couple of years with the Hawks.
Why do they do this? Like, they've got 100 guys on their roster now. What's the point of signing these guys?
For him, 6'8". I assume they're trying to find what they would consider a 4.
And out of the blue, Dominic Barlow.
Listen, man.
Played in the Overtime Elite. Who's going to now be the guy?
I don't know.
That's why I say, why even waste your time signing guys like this?
It's a good story for the Prep.
I guess. We also have their Phil's lineup for tonight. Now, who are they facing tonight? Are they facing a righty?
Verlander.
Oh, they got Verlander tonight.
Which is kind of a guaranteed loss for the
What's the
Giants.
odds on this game here? Because I actually lost last night.
Did you take the Phillies?
I talked the Giants minus a run and a half.
Oh.
So it could. Why wasn't that a walk-off grand slam? I would have won the bet.
Oh, no. Now I see where this whole Kepler angle came from.
It didn't matter.
Rooting for him. No, you were rooting for him. He stopped at third, and you're rooting for the walk-off 2-run homer to make it a 5-3 win. That explains my entire day. This has been fun, guys. Thanks for doing this.
Not at all.
I'm out of here.
That thought did not enter my head. In fact, I knew I lost the bet as soon as the Phillies were up 3-1. I knew the Giants weren't going to rally to win that game by a run and a half.
You wanted him stopped at third, so you got the 2-run shot. It makes sense.
But now that I think about it, maybe I should have rooted for that.
Yeah.
All right, so give me the lineup tonight against Verlander. It's the lefty lineup tonight.
So we got Turner, Schwarber, Harper, Bohm, Castellanos, Kepler, Realmuto, Stott, and Marsh.
All right, that's the usual.
Yes, nothing crazy with that lineup. And the Phillies are a minus 125 on the money line.
Oh, Phil's favored tonight.
They opened at minus 180.
Favored tonight against Verlander.
Verlander hasn't won a start in...
So this would be a sweep, too. So I may have to come back and take the Phil's big tonight.
The last time they won a start he made was May 18th.
Yeah, the Phillies are due to win. They're not going to lose 3 straight. I have to place that bet now. Can you do the show for the next 10 minutes?
Yeah, I got you.
Can I put this bet in here?
Yeah, so while you put in that bet, we go back to the text line here. And Parlo did not go to St. Joe. Oh, went to St. Joe's in upstate New Jersey. There you go. That's important text line delivery there.
Yeah,
I was going to say,
he's from Hackensack.
I feel like we would have gotten the whole, look, they signed a Philly guy. Thompson deserves blame for leaving Romano, but the other option was Ross. Last 7 appearances, giving them up runs in 5 of them, 3+ runs in 3 of them. Bigger issue is Dombrowski spending $42 million on Romano, Ross, Walker, and Kepler.
Yeah, he has not come up big with any of those signings. But again, like last night, you got to manage your way through this whole thing. Now, if you're not going to use Ross, that's fine. Then you got to extend Lazar an extra inning and move Strom deeper into the game. That's my only beef about this whole thing. He mismanaged it last night.
Yeah. Oh, I agree with him. He mismanaged it. He mismanaged a bullpen that's not stocked to what it should be. Again, when you start giving out the slices of pie of blame here, Dombrowski's not off the hook last night, but I think Topper going Strom in the 7th. We've been talking about this since before we came on the air, and I still have not found a justification that I would find correct for why he was there in the 7th.
Let's play it again. Can we play his explanation?
Of course.
I want people to listen to this closely here, and you tell me if this makes any sense.
We got kind of caught back in a corner because we didn't have Kirkering. And so Strom pitched the 7th against all those lefties. And it was wanted to use Romano in the 9th just because of the intensity of the whole situation. And it was between Ross and Johnson and Robert for the 8th. And we liked Robert's slider on that group of hitters. And I think it was fine until the pitch clock violation. I think that may have sped him up a little bit. So once he got through his 3 hitters, I felt like it was time to get rid of that inning. And Romano came in and did a great job. 5 pitches, felt like he was strong, felt like he could probably finish it out.
All right, here's where I think the relationship that Rob Thompson has with writers who cover the team is a little too cozy. I think he's a nice guy. I think they respect him. I don't think that people who cover the sport want to make that many waves with him. But after he says, like my question to him would have been, why did you burn Strom in the 7th? And he would have said what he just said. And then I would have said, well, but Strom really wasn't going to face lefties, except one. So did you think that Lee was that much of a burden that you had to have Strom to get Lee out? Like questioning like that, I would have gotten a better answer from the manager. But they didn't ask him again about that.
So just to see the other side of this conversation, what I would expect Thompson to say in that line of questioning is, we like the matchup of Strom versus whoever they would pinch hit there more than any of the options we had against Dominic Smith at that time.
And if he gave me that answer, I'd be satisfied. I'm not satisfied with that answer that he just gave. Because and the writers were. See, that's my problem. The people that are listening to that answer, they're on to the next question. That needs to be explored a little more. You are short in your pen without Kirkering. Why would you burn Strom in the 7th? And I would have a dialogue about that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I understand why you would have asked the follow-up. The end of follow-up question, for those that are curious, ended up being about asking him whether or not he had enough arms in his bullpen when he had to go.
Okay, do we have that as well?
I can have it for you in a second.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's not a good question. Because he's going to say yes. Right? That's a yes or no answer. Like you have to ask him like something like, would you appreciate a little more help in that bullpen, and then see what he says to that. Like that's an innocuous question about. All right, let's hear what he had to say. What was the question again?
You'll hear it.
All right, go ahead.
Have enough down there in the bullpen, maybe when you don't have one of your guys on a given day?
Well, it was just the structure of their lineup. and where we were at in the 7th that we felt like it was Strom's inning because we'd already used Banks early. I was it was 4-inning stint for Ty, and I thought he pitched great, and I thought he pitched better as the game went on. Stuff got better, command got better. Very encouraging.
He obviously doesn't want to use guys. He's got guys that are veteran players down there. He obviously doesn't want to use them. So that's a non-answer also.
Yeah, he didn't even say, yes, I do have guys.
Right.
But
even the structure of the line, I think it was more structural. No, it's not. It's that you don't believe in Joe Ross. Yeah, that's why you use Lazar. That's why you had to do what you did in the end of the game, because you don't trust those other guys.
$22.5 million to Kepler, Ross, and Romano. That was their
Who else did he have down there? He had Ross,
Seth Johnson,
and who else?
Daniel Robert and Romano. Those were the 4 that remained after Strom, since you didn't have Kirkering last night.
Now, the last time he brought Johnson in was a successful outing. He threw 100, and he had really good breaking stuff.
Pitched well enough to pretty much make their decision that Abel was going down.
So instead of using Strom in the 7th, why not use Johnson in the 7th? And he has to face two lefty. He has to face Lee and Dominic Smith, which is not exactly murderer's row.
I think by bringing in Daniel Robert, they showed you who's higher on that depth chart right now. That maybe
Daniel Robert is higher? All right.
If we're debating Daniel Robert and Seth Johnson, we're pointing the arrow to Dave Dombrowski right now.
Oh, I get it. But again, Lazar's pitched 2 innings before. So burn Lazar 2 innings. He had a very successful first inning. He's more apt to, he's a younger guy. He can throw 2 innings.
Well, he just went the night before.
That's all right. How many pitches did he do the night before? He's a young kid.
Yeah, he's a young kid.
Kirkering, he's young also.
Yeah.
He's Kirkering. How many pitches did he throw?
20-something.
Did he?
Yeah.
All right. I'm just frustrated, man. I'm frustrated by that loss last night. I'm frustrated by Kepler. Not like bot. Like I hope people that'll look at that play again and say, yeah, he's right. Where was Kepler? What was he doing? What was he doing? And because of that, it's a home run instead of a triple, and Mikey Miss his bet would have been still in play.
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
Mm-hmm.
Oops. In any event, Ray, you won today. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You defeated the audience. However, in the spirit of the audience, we'll still award a winner, and it's Joe from Mantua. Is Joe the guy that got mad at me?
No, you're thinking of Joe from Fox Chase.
Oh, Joe from Fox Chase got mad at me.
I'm disappointed for Jason Stark, though. I really thought he was going to get those tickets.
Yeah, Jason is ineligible. We're going to give Jason the tickets. Let's give him a horse instead, because it was his kingdom for a horse. In any event, stay tuned. Unfiltered is coming up next with Bill Colarulo and Silvana and Ricky Vitalico. And then we'll hear what Ricky has to say about last night. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll be back at you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.